Sunday. It's race day here in ALR, and we are here in the Super Spa, magnificent spa, the best track in the world, in my opinion. It has every type of corner that you can think, that you can imagine. It is brilliant. It's an absolutely fantastic racetrack. It really is, and I'm very excited for this. Very excited for this track, for this race, I should say. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. I have no doubt about that. Let me quickly get the link up so that so I can follow all you guys that will be commenting and all that kind of jazz. And of course, this Laggy Racer is this home Grand Prix there, and he's straight in here saying home race, hello. And Laggy Racer, he's got a special helmet as well, so keep an eye on that as well. Like we'll keep an eye on Laggy Racer's helmet. We've got RH44 evening. I've also got Jonathan Cox saying good evening, Sean, as well. Good evening to you all. Hello, hello, hello. Right, and we're almost ready to get going, and we're a couple of minutes behind, but at least we're earlier than last week after someone didn't know how to start the lobby. Anyway, enough about that. So let's take a quick look at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and it's 19 turns around here. It is the longest track on the calendar, 4.3 miles long, and well, apparently its class is very easy, but I don't think it is very easy at all, is it? This track is a difficult track to get right. Of course, the lap record holder is actually held by Fisher, 1:45.328. Fisher had a bit of a nightmare last time out in Monaco, didn't he? He had a 5-place grid penalty for something happened in qualifying, and then in the race he had an incredible first half of the race, didn't he? And then it just and then, unfortunately, the second half race just didn't go his way, did it? It was an incredible turn of events for Fisher, because I got to say, Fisher was the faster driver on the day in Monaco, but sometimes it's also about consistency as well. Look at that. That's an incredible shot there of Eau Rouge there, isn't it? So we're just taking a look at the Ardennes Forest, some of the screenshots here. This is an incredible track. Absolutely love it. And whilst we're getting ready to get into this session, let's quickly take a look at the Drivers and Constructors Championship. Granty is still leading, and he's had 2 race wins and a second and a third position so far this season. I think he has had a third position, hasn't he? Is it third or second? It was second, yeah. So two first and a second so far. Granty has been absolutely incredible, and that's why he's in the championship by 15 points so far. Emerson is second on 53 points. He's 15 points away from Granty. So you can see I can't do 2 things at once. And I'm also very excited to see we've got a trap map as well. Absolutely love it. The first time in our history we have a trap map on the right hand side, and I gotta say it's a beautiful trap map as well, isn't it? Look at that incredible circuits with spotters. Emerson then is on is 15 points away from Granty. Jonathan is in third position. Then he is 32 points back, and Nigel dropping down 2 positions. He's dropped from second to fourth, and after a pretty spectacular Grand Prix in Monaco. Then we got to Echo in 5th position. He's had a cracking start to his ALR career. He's been really impressive, Echo has, in his 5 races. Steve had an absolutely incredible race in Monaco. Driver of the day, and well deserved as well. He's moved up to 6th there, far from Mr. Elliott. Dropped down 1 position in 7th, 8th position. Then 9th position is Twang, who's missing a couple of races, and Dan Murphy, who's also down in 10th position. And not had a good start down. And remember, he was in 4th position. I think he finished 4th in the last season's title race, but unfortunately this season it's just not gone too well, has it, for Dan Murphy? But things can change there, and he is usually very good in the second half of the season. Remember, we got a random calendar this year, though, haven't we? So so really it's going to be completely different the second half of the season, isn't it? We're on board Laggy then, who is the first man out on track at the moment. Then we'll comment on his helmet in just a few moments, and you can see we've got a lovely. The sun is dipping in the sky. Then we're in late afternoon here in Belgium, and the track looks absolutely spectacular as well, doesn't it? As Laggy Race just coming out on the Jackie X turn there. All the corner with no name was it was called for a very long time. Anyway, yeah, going back to the constructors, of course, Granty, who's been the man for Williams so far. They've got 68 points so far. Alfa Romeo 7 points back, with Mercedes 9 points back as well. Racing Point are in at 4th position there, 35 points back from the leader. Ferrari and Haas moving up. Ferrari moved at 1 position. Haas has moved at 2 positions. Renault dropping down to 8th position, and currently at the moment Toro Rosso, who at the beginning of the season, we was predicting them to be absolutely dominating in the constructors. Well, that really hasn't happened yet, has it? They've only got 2 points in the first 3 races, but this is a long old championship, isn't it? So we've got a very long way to go there. So let's go on board with the hometown hero then. Here he is then, this Laggy Racer just coming into the bus stop chicane. Now look at the sun there, glaring right into the eyes, and he's got a special helmet as well for the for tonight's race as well. So let's go on board with him, coming over the grid hatchings then as we come into that source then. Turn 1, we've had some incredible action down there with the Arizona in 2012, where Grosjean just went over to the cockpit of who is it? Of Alonso. Yeah, that was very scary indeed. Was now cut up to Eau Rouge and into Radion then as he flies over the crest of the hill then, and as we come up the Kemmel Straight now, we're going to the top of the hill then. Look at this, and he's powering on there full Earths. Well, no, not full Earths. It's almost full beans, and they're dropping now down into 4th gear then as they come and as he comes across the chicane, and now we're going to drop downhill then. A very undulating circuit. It feels like a roller coaster ride, doesn't it? When we're driving, when we're on board with Laggy here, it's incredible stuff. It really is. Now coming into the Jackie X turn. This is where he joined Laggy Racer just about a lap ago then, and using all the track and a bit of curb as well there. Lovely bit of driving here from Laggy Racer as well. Look at that, and the car there, really, you get really floaty on the rear end there, don't you, with the Mercedes? But Laggy Racer held in there absolutely spectacular as well, didn't he? And now dropping down to 4th gear and flicking up to 5th gear. Look, playing with the throttle there slightly, and as we're coming to complete the 2nd sector now. Then it's a very long circuit, isn't it? We've done it's a 1:16 in the 2nd sector. That's incredible, because that is longer than. Because Austria's actually got a shorter lap time now. So that's how long this track is. Used to be a monster of a track, actually. I think it used to be expanded for like 16 miles, I think it was. Some scary corners there on the old circuit. Now we come into the bus stop chicane. Of course, it was remodeled back in 2006. I gotta say, I do prefer the old bus stop chicane. And here comes Laggy coming across the line now, and he's done a 44.9 then, as he is the first man to put a time on the board then in the Mercedes then. So good stuff there from Laggy Racer, an absolutely brilliant lap, it really was. Here comes Lights then, who's done a 44.3 then in the Red Bull then, and he is gone faster than Laggy at this stage in the broadcast. Here comes Toon Fan then. You can see, he had a nightmare 2 races in Monaco, didn't he? Hopefully he can get some retribution back with a good weekend here. Hopefully he can. Anyway, he's 3rd at the moment, and he's on his way then. We've got Echo then, who was just coming in the bus stop chicane as well. As we said, Echo has been incredible, hasn't he, in the start of his ALR season. He is his ALR career has been brilliant, hasn't he? He goes 3rd fast at the moment in the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo team are a very strong unit, aren't they? Both him and Jonathan Cox are really impressive. They really are. Matt then making a return then to the Red Bull lineup then, after a couple of races out. Then he is back in action, and it's great to see Matt back in the field. Here comes Gamer as well. Of course, Gamer was in silver, wasn't he, for the first 2 races, but he has been brought back into gold then, and let's see what he could do then. Gamer, of course, Gamer I think is also I think this is also his home race now for Gamer as well. So we've got a couple of Belgians there in the field, and it's really good to see it. As we're just on board then, as they're coming up to a Blanchimont now then. Max Verstappen had an incredible overtake, didn't he, back in 2015 around there. We also had a scary accident with Luciano Berti and Eddie Irvine, I think it was, back in 2001 as well. I think the race was red flagged, and there's a Ferrari just in front of us. I think that's Stringy just starting his lap. Here comes Gamer, he's just about to complete his lap now, and he has done a 46 there at the moment. He is 5th fastest out of 5 runners so far then. Stringy then just starting his lap then, so we've got to keep it on Stringy. We've got Roscoe then coming on the Kemmel Straight now as well, and here comes Matt then flying through Paul Frere, and now then he's coming up to the final part of that, and this is just I think there's just one major breaking point in this as we've got an Alfa Romeo just getting on the way there. So all you can see on the track map there, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't that track map? Now Matt then is going to break down then. Look at him dropping down to 2nd gear then, and then feathering, tickling the throttle there beautifully well then. Now accelerates away DRS enabled. There's 2 DRS zones around here, and Matt goes into 6th fast at the moment. I think there might be more in the tank there from Matt. We've seen you can see then here comes Biras as he has invalidated his time because the track map is all red at the moment. So he's gonna have to go again. Stringy there, just coming out of the Jackie Hicks turn. Where's Roscoe? Well, Roscoe is here as Alfa Romeo just get off the track there. As Young Lights has had a oh dear, there's a problem there. Young Lights and Gunnar have come together there, just coming into the bus stop chicane then, and oh dear, and I think Young Lights is going to have it's got a 5-place grid penalty for that, as Gunnar there taking away all the Rolex advertising boards there, and Gunnar there. Oh no, this is not good at all for the Irishman. It's appalling luck there for Gunnar, as he is just doing some oh lovely very spectacular. Look how narrow the pit entry is here. If you get that wrong, you'll be you're gonna be crashing into the barrier quite heavily as well, probably ripping off the suspension. Gunnar's come back in the pits. Young Lights then, as Young Lights and him have come together somehow, and unfortunately, then Goldmasters has put that down to being, as a Stringy there is not going too quickly around there at the moment, is he? On board Beerus, and he's making his debut tonight. Beerus is, as I hope I'm saying that right, as he flies through Puyong now. Then. You can see just in front of us is Farshot. Farshot's on a lap as well. Beerus is on the medium compound tire, and so is Farshot here. So that's interesting stuff. Stringy has done a 2:06 there. That used to be a very good time around here back in '95. That's not really a good time at the moment. Then as you go, purple second sector there for Beerus, and this is looking strong, isn't it? The debutant in the Renault is, of course, he's replacing Twang for this week, isn't he? As Twang is off doing his Winter Olympic stuff. I can't remember what he's doing now, but I know. I can't remember what it's called. It's there's a lot. I think there's shooting and skiing involved. And look at that, and almost going into the back of Farshot. And Farshot's on a lap as well, so I don't suppose Farshot doesn't really want to get out of the way, does he? Farshot has gone up to 6th fastest. Beerus has gone to 2nd fastest. So very good time there from the debutant. Very impressive stuff indeed. Then here comes Kingstone. He's usually in action on Monday nights. Tonight he is in action, and it's good to see Kingstone also making his debut in the Gold League as well. So it's really good stuff indeed. As let me just catch up with the comments. Well, wait a minute. When Jonathan comes across the line, we've got 20, and Jonathan goes fast. Remember, he's the man who's been on pole position from twice so far this season. He's going to make it free. Emerson, of course, ended Jonathan's monopoly on pole position, didn't he? Last time out in Monaco. But yeah, that's Jonathan there is showing some really good stuff there, isn't he? I think he's got. Oh, not McLaren there, blimey! That made me jump. I'm not sure if it might have made Kingdom jump as well. Goodness me. I would have had to change my underpants, as his Kingdom there is just coming up to the 2nd section now then. And here he comes, and you can see it's incredible, this track, is how it just drops, it undulates, doesn't it? It's brilliant. Kingdom is purple in the 2nd sector there, Kingdom is, so he's finding some speed in the Toro Rosso. As Gamer saying, good luck everyone. Jonathan Cox got a cube, and thought I'll let you know. Emerson has just as well. It's just made me very intrigued. It's a wet race. It's going to be a wet race, of course. So we've had some incredible wet races over the years in Spa, haven't we? They seem to have their own weather climate here in Spa. So look at Kingstone there. The rear end is getting very waggy there, isn't it? And Kingstone goes 6th fastest in the Toro Rosso at the moment. He is the highest placed Toro Rosso. So that's good stuff indeed. Then just taking a look, as Gunnar there has got a full wing now, and he's flying in. Steve has invaded his time already. So unfortunately, so Steve ain't going to be able to. He's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. Here comes Emerson, the man who's on pole last while. What could he do now? And Emerson goes 3rd fast at the moment in the Mercedes, and that's a very good final sector there. And Granty there, of course, the championship leader, the defending champion, and he comes over the line now, and he's gone 2nd fastest. Look at that, just a whisker away from Jonathan Cox at the moment. This is getting very interesting indeed, isn't it? Very good stuff there. Gunnar there starting out lap at the moment. Steve there is. Steve there is, of course, I think just going around at the moment. Well, they're all going around, aren't they, technically? Stringy there is at 10th for a second down in the 2nd sector. We're keeping on Stringy's on what goes on the street as well. Here comes Nigel coming through Puyong now. And I got to say, that's a scary old corner, isn't it? I would say it's a very tough corner, especially when these cars are getting very light, isn't it? Yellow flag up the Camel Straight then. But I think it's a McLaren now that's just slowing down. I think it's Sam who's invalidated this time. We've also got H44 going. Hi, John. Shalom, H44. Yeah, Jonathan Cox also confirming it's a wet race as well. LOLO from Granty there. Wet race, hoping not to be fair. Harry has said IRC Super League 1, 2, 3, please. Yes, of course. That references to Steve, Roscoe, and Matt. Then on one wonder, that'd be a great podium, wouldn't it? Here comes Nigel. Nigel probably has something to say about that, doesn't he? DRS on the works now, and he goes into first fastest, the former champion, the champion from season 1, right up there. Gunnar has retired from the session. Gunnar, unfortunately, who's had a bit of a miserable time in this opening session, has really... unfortunately, it's just not gone at all well for Gunnar, has it? So he'll be starting 20th in the wet race tomorrow. That is not good at all for the Irishman. We've also got Light Racer saying he's happy with that. Ayrton is saying, hope Emerson gets a win today. Hope he won here last season, so fingers crossed. Lights saying, Gunnar, no wonder RRC kicked you. I left space for everyone to drive by and you go full speed into me. We got Broke Gorilla saying, good evening, Sean, good evening, Broke, good evening, told you, hope you're well. Dan Murphy goes 6 fast. He needs to get his season kicked off now, doesn't he, really? He's had a pretty difficult start to this season, hasn't he? And that's Steve there. Whoa, Steve's lost his wing there, and he's completely... oh dear, up to Lake Com there. He just completely jumped over the chicane, and we're on board Sandmen. So at the moment then we have Farf, Sam, Steve and Gunnar all on a set of time. Let's go on board the man who had an incredible Monaco race, didn't he? His best result of ALR so far in his short career, and he had a fantastic Monaco Grand Prix, didn't he? I think he finished 7th in the end, didn't he? Now he's coming up over Radion there. Now waiting for the DRS. Where is it? There it is, straight on the money. And now coming to the cowbell straight and up to Lake Com then. We've also got like a racer. Thought it was short quality. Oh, I thought it was short quality. Wow. No, it's of course we do have standard full quality here, don't we? We've also got Twan saying, guess who's back, sort of. I wonder who that is. And we've got Jonathan Cox who's saying he's got a Q3 ban, and we've also got how do you like the trap map? And it's at the bottom of the menu. I must admit, I do love the trap map. I think it's beautiful. It really is. I get very excited. Oh, look at that! Sam going over the AstroTurf there out of Puyol, and he's invalidated his time there by the looks, because the trap map has gone red, which means it, of course, then you invalidate your time there. So that's unfortunate for Sam. Steve is back in the pit of the boat. There's going to be a bit of worried faces in the Haas team at the moment. Steve there would like to needs to get a time in. It's a long old lap around here. He's only got 3 minutes. Remember, the fastest lap is 1:43, isn't it? That's best, and out of its best part of 2 minutes to get around. So you've really got to start to think about coming up now. And for anyone who's in the pits, then Farf is on track at the moment. Then Farf leaving it late as his traditional MO. And also we got Steve there. Hopefully Steve will be coming out fairly soon, because he needs to, as you said, he needs to get a time. And here comes car 19, Farf in the Ferrari then, in the white helmet then, which in the white helmet Farf, and he comes out with last source, and we're going to start this now then. And we're going to start this now. Let's look at this. It's such a roller coaster, right, isn't it? You've got a yellow flying free. It's a Renault there. We've also got, I think it's a Red Bull, is also stopped on the track by the looks end. Well, I think he's just letting guys by. Farfen, who is not maxing out the errors at the moment, is he? So I'm wondering if he's just trying to get the feelers out there. Sam is on the lap mode. Steve needs to get out there now. I think Steve is still in the pits head. So that's not good at all from Steve. Steve could be knocked out after an incredible racing Monaco. He could be out of qualifying already in this race. That's going to be a shock, isn't it? Farfar, as he's coming now up to the corner with no name. As you can see, I tell you what, that corner no name is a very tricky little left-hander there, isn't it? In the background there's a Toro Rosso. I think that's Toon Fano is on track as well. He is on the cusp there, isn't he? Granty's retired! Farf is spun! And, Granty's retired in the pits. Oh dear, he's stuck. I think he's beached, is he? He's beached. I think he's beached on the curb there, Farf is. And that's not good at all. Someone's going to have to help him get a boost then. This is not good at all for Farf. He's only got a minute and 30 seconds to go. Steve's out on track now, and he resets back to track then. And he got beats on the curve there. Farf did. Murphy is retired from the session, and Farf is really it's really definitely under pressure now, isn't he? Toon Fan, I think, was Toon Fan is behind Sam mode. So let's stay with Sam then. He is in 18th finish mode. He hasn't set a time. Coming up Paul Ferraro now. We got Twan saying, I thought we were really quiet then. We got Twan saying, nice to see when the lap is invalidated, and it's probably faster for you to find the cause of the incident. To us, again, the track map makes it a lot easier, doesn't it, for us to to see what's going on as well. It's also nice to see where people are, doesn't it? Here comes Sam coming across the line now, and he is in 17th position on a 46.8 there. I think there's a lot of time to go. Steve has got 40 seconds to get around there. He's cutting it fine, isn't he? Farfar is now starting his time. He's at a 2:08 Farfar, so Farf needs to get a lap in now, or is done. Toon is out of qualifying. Well, no, he's out of Q1, I should say. But is he going to be out? We're going to find out very soon. Then Gamer is on an out lap as well, and so is Steve. So who is going to get through? Then this is going to be very tense indeed. At the moment, the guys in the drop zone is Gamer, is Sam, is Farf, Steve, and Gunnar, who's already unfortunately bowed out. Coming at the Camel straight once again. Here's Farf. So this is Farf's first proper attempt then, as he is a second up for the first sector. He's also got purple as well. Grant, he just points out there's 300ths of a second there. 3,000ths of a second. Ooh, Farf getting on a bit of the old grass there. 3,000ths of a second between me and Jono. Let's get it. Yeah, I got to say, Gamer's out. Gamer's out. He's gone. I think he's gone out of. Where has he gone? It is. I think it's up the. Yeah, it's up at Radial now. He's gone, hasn't he? So that's a shame now for Gamer. And just on board. Yeah, he's gone into the wall there quite heavily. Gamer's out of qualifying, unfortunately, there for the McLaren driver. So on his home race, he is not going to. He's not going to get through, unfortunately. Sam there is still... He's 3/10 of a second. Well, is that going to be enough for Sam? Let's take a look. Not quite. He needs to find 5/10 of a second. He needs to find an extra 2/10 here then. As here he comes in, flying through Blanchimont. Then here he comes then. He's coming to the bus stop chicane now. It's all or nothing. Qualified is done in Q1. If you start your lap, you can finish it. Emerson has just jumped up at the 5th, I think it was. And now then is that Sam coming across the line now. What can Samuel do? Here he comes, and he goes... 50p is through by a whisker. What about Farf? Farf is 23 seconds up. That's an incredible time. Farf goes up in the 3rd position and it's knocked Sam out, unfortunately. So Sam was 16th at the moment then. Is he going to stay 16th? Roscoe is on the cusp as well. Sam missed out by 5,000ths of a second. No, 800ths of a second, I should say. What about Steve? Steve is coming to the line now. Let's see. Is he through? He is indeed. He is in 8th position. We have lost Roscoe. We have lost Sam. We have lost Toon, Gamer and Gunnar, all out of Q1, and I don't know. That's a shame, really, isn't it, for those guys? But unfortunately, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of this qualifying Q1 session, is to lose the 5 slowest drivers for line up 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. And those are the guys that are out of qualifying. We'll see them in the race in the not too distant future, as Stringy has got a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. We was on board, and it was he was blocking Nigel coming in the pit, so that was really odd there from Stringy. Yeah, but he's been getting a 5-place grid penalty, Stringy has, and that is not good at all then. So wherever he qualifies, you have to you'll be 5 places back then, and that is the same for also who was I think it was it Young Lights? I think it was Young Lights as well, who's Gunnar and Young Lights also came together as well there. So yeah, that's a very action-packed. Oh dear! And I think someone's just gone to the back of Kings up there. It's the McLaren. It's the McLaren of Sam who's gone to the back. I think it's the AIs there, just can't drive like usual. But luckily enough, Kingsham's car is still in one piece, and he'll be in Q2 in just a few moments' time. Then we have got. Is Beerus new F1, and Al H saying no, I don't think so. John von Cox saying Grant smart, respect mate. We've also got Emerson there also in the comments as well. You can drive and right, impressive stuff. So Gunnar out of qualifying, Gamer, Toon, Sam and Roscoe all out of qualifying. Unfortunately, 46 was not enough. We have got a 5-place grid penalty there for Stringy. I think we've also got a 5-place grid penalty for Young Lights as well. So 2 men there have got 5-place grid penalties there. So that's not good at all, is it, to start off their race? And when it's raining tomorrow, it's raining a bit later on. So yeah, that's really tough as well. So they're going to have to race with all the spray coming up as well. We'll find out how heavy it's going to race in the when the race comes on. Then I got to say, I love a good wet race. I actually prefer the conditions where they're changeable, isn't it? It really shows the skill of the driver, doesn't it? You really do earn your money, don't you, when it's a wet race? Just getting the old graphics back up then. So this session then, we've got 15 minutes in this session, and we are aiming to lose 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th positions then, and the top 10 will go through to that pole position shootout. At the moment, Jonathan has got 2 pole positions this season, and Emerson's got 1 pole position as well. I think in the on-time stats, I'm sure Jonathan is actually the most pole positions, hasn't he? He has in the terms of the current crop of drivers. I think he's not. If he gets pole position today, he'd be joint on 5 with Jochen, who has the all-time record so far with 5. So yeah, Jonathan could potentially be a joint top pole position holder come the end of this session. And so that's an achievement, isn't it? Of course, same with Emerson. I think is actually top race winner at the moment, isn't he? I think he's got 6 race wins now. Emerson, that's incredible stuff, isn't it? They see weaving backwards and forwards there, and a bit of fun on the old Kemmel straight there. As we've got Emerson saying, "Don't count me out. I'm on the mediums." We've also got Nathan Hughes saying, "Go on, Emerson." As Laggy also, Emerson, let's do this. Of course, Mercedes teammates, aren't they? We've also got Grant Smart saying, "We'll see Emerson," and also we got Gamer Hater. So Gamer not on the best of luck here at the moment, is he? As just watching Stringy there, as he is he's not the first man out. I think Jonathan is actually the first man on track at the moment. He's on the soft tyres, Jonathan is. I think it's because a lot of drivers have yellow flag, and that's a Mercedes of Laggy, who's gone off. He's off on his outlap there. So yeah, Laggy visiting the. I don't think he's damaged his race car there, but yeah, he's gone off at Puyol there. So that's not. That's not good then, is it, for a Laggy? So Jonathan is going to be the first man, I think, to start us up. And here he is then. Well, we're waiting for him. There he is. And he's coming up to Blanchimont now. Car 25 and the British Italian driver. Can he get 5 pole positions tonight? This would be his 5th pole position of his ALR career. An incredible feat, isn't it, for Jonathan then, as he comes into the bus stop chicane then. Let's see what he does then. He's going to launch off it now, accelerating hard on the loud pedal, and we are away. So this is the first man to start a lap then. Jonathan might be on the soft tyres because if it's raining, then you ain't going to start on the dry tyres if it's raining, are you? So because when the conditions change, then you're allowed to start on whatever tyre you want. And I'm wondering if some guys haven't actually looked at the weather yet, or perhaps they don't believe in the weather. The weather can be a bit dodgy on this game sometimes, where it does say something and actually is completely different. Jonathan there is coming up the back straight then, and his first sector is a 1:29.8 there. Good time there for Jonathan then, as he's coming out of the chicane up there. You can see, look at this, his fuel light is already flashing, isn't it? As he is basically as light as a feather. Laggy is gone. Oh no! And at Laggy, that's a big shame for Laggy. He's gone up at Radion, I think it is. So Laggy, the hometown hero, is out of qualifying, and that is a huge blow for Laggy there. And he's the same place as his countryman Gamer. Wow! And look how he's ripped off the right front wheel there on that Mercedes. So that's a huge shame there for Laggy Racer. That corner is very dangerous, isn't it? Because of course these cars have got very low downforce, isn't it, around here? Because you want speed at the Kemmel Straight. You want the speed coming up to Blanchimont, and unfortunately that places like Eau Rouge and Radion is where the car gets really light as well. And we've seen earlier Laggy was pointing the wrong way at Pouillon as well. Then so we're coming up to Blanchimont now. Jonathan Cox is almost there, and he's ready to get going then. Yeah, Nigel said rain with stars in his eyes. We've also got Laggy saying, "Why do I have no luck? Never have luck there." So Laggy there, unfortunately, there is out of qualifying then. So Jonathan goes on to a 43.7 then for the Alfa Romeo. So he's provisionally fastest as it stands at the moment. We have got a Mercedes of Emerson, who is just about to start. Stringy is done a 45.4 there on the medium compound tyre. So Stringy, so that's a good effort there from Stringy. Young Lights has retired from the session, and why is that? It's coming to the bus stop. She came on board Kingzo at the moment. Kingzo on the soft compound tyre, and I think then let's take. And where has he gone? Oh, is that in the wall? Or was he just parked to there? That's a very unusual place to crash there, isn't it? So I'm wondering if he's actually just gone to Woolham. We've got a yellow flag up at Radion there, but I think it's alright then. Stringy goes third fastest at the moment. Kingdom has just moved up to second on a 44.6 then for the Toro Rosso team. Good 17. Matt there is He's not going great guns around there at the moment. I think he's just winding up for another lap now. Here comes Echo then. We've also got Beerus on track as well. So Echo is just starting his lap. Emerson is halfway around. Well, he's only halfway around the lap. Nowhere near, is he? Now he's coming into the Jackie X turn then. So we just finished the first sector. Emerson is, of course, the man who's only been on pole position twice in his ALR career. That's one for, of course... I think Jonathan's amazing in qualifying, and Emerson's really good in the race there, isn't he? So yeah, I think that makes great racing for us, doesn't it? And Emerson, I think that might be one of Emerson's Achilles' heels, is just this one lap pace perhaps there. But of course, the points do get handed out in the race, don't they? Nothing gets handed out in qualifying. This is just to decide on how they're going to start the Belgian Grand Prix. Emerson has gone purple in Sector 2. Good stuff there from the Mercedes driver. Of course, the man who was runner-up last season. Emerson was, I've got to say, since making his debut in Baku and Azerbaijan of round 4 of last season, he has really torn up the form book, hasn't he? He's been incredible, Emerson, really has. But he was just come up a bit short there, didn't he, in the final stage of the last season. And Emerson coming out of the bus stop chicane now then. He's done very well in his ERS management, very well indeed. Look at that, he's judged that to perfection. He's gone second fast, about 2 tenths of a second away from Jonathan Cox at the moment, who is still, as it stands, the fastest man on track. And who was that? I think that was Stringer, who's wow. BRS there is unfortunately validated time. Here comes Echo. Here's the Jonathan's teammate Echo coming up to the finish line now. Of course, up until the last race, I think Echo had a 50% rate, 50% podium rate, didn't he? Of finish on the podium twice in his first 4 races. He goes 5th fast as Echo does, and he is the slowest. He's the slowest driver of all the guys that have set time on. Beerus is coming back into the pits and in the Renaults. Look how narrow that pit lane is there. Unfortunately, Stringy and Nigel they're getting into some misdemeanors there, didn't they? And illegal block in. Nigel there is just coming down now into Eau Rouge and Radion then. And here he goes. And look at that. That's an incredible sight, isn't it? We've seen, unfortunately, 2 cars go in the wall there, didn't we, already in this session. I have a feeling we're going to see a couple more as well. We've got 7 minutes to go in this session. So these guys are really going to start to figure out getting out. We've only got 5 cars that have had to put a time on the board yet so far. Nigel has not gone fast in the first section. He's a 30 up there. Yeah, he's on the medium tire as well, as it stands. A lovely over-the-show shot there. He really, I love those shots. They're amazing stuff, aren't they? And now then it's Nigel then dropping down then into the right hand. Look at that feather in the front, just having a bit of a tickle there with the loud pedal. Then coming for the Jackie X turn then, and using a bit of curb there at Nigel. So we're doing a very good job indeed. Then now flying down the Puyol here as. That's a very tricky Oda corner, isn't it? I think Giovinazzi crashed there, didn't he, last season? So that wasn't good for Giovinazzi, but I wonder if he got ordered there because Leclerc was under the course there, wasn't he? Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, of course I don't happen in Formula 1, does it? A 1:16.4 in the second sector there for Nigel. He is now got one more braking point to make, and that is at the bus stop chicane. Then we're on the loud pedal now for a very long period of this final sector, and now we're coming to the bus stop chicane now as well. Where is he going to brake? Look at that, just before the 100-meter board. Incredible stuff then as Echo is coming into the pits. Then Nigel out of the follow turn. Then look at that, then a bit of correction on the car. Nigel goes into full fast at the moment behind King's Own, but he's the fastest of medium runners. Car 36 at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Farf is on the hard tire. Then Farf is at the moment, and he is he is on the hard tire then, so keeping his options open, so to speak. Then now we just watch Steve. Then Steve calls left until very, very late in the in Q1 now to make it through, but he's here nonetheless in car 45 is, and let's see what he can do there as we're coming up to the bus stop chicane now. Then see, then very calm there from Steve. That's what you need to be, calm. DRS enabled now, and he goes into 5th fastest in the Haas there. Good stuff from Steve. Very good stuff indeed. Whereas I think I said Farf, who's back in the pits then. So Farf has only got just under 5 minutes. Just under 6 minutes, I should say, to get out there and get a time done now. So it's going to be very it's very nip and tuck, isn't it, for Farf at this stage at this stage of qualifying. At the moment, then we got half the men who's on soft tires, half the men on the medium tires at the moment. It does depend on how heavy that rain is later on, and whether it comes at all in the race is also another factor. Now Granted then is just coming over the crest of the hill. Then he's coming down into Lake Holm then. As we've got a couple of yellow flags out there. That's Steve just getting out of the way. And Granted, he's gone fastest in the first sector on the medium tyres. So Granty's got a very slippery car, hasn't he? In the woods. Oh, he's invalidated this time, Granty has. That is not good then at all for the champion. And unfortunately, Granty's going to have to go all the way around and start his lap again. So let's go on board the rookie Beerus then. And I got to say, this man is a very quick man indeed, isn't he? I think he was the fastest of the medium runners in Q1, wasn't he? And he wasn't far away from the top runner as well. He's gone purple in the first sector, Beerus has. He is coming and really is really ripping up the form book, similar to what Emerson did there in his when he made his debut in round 4 then. So I think this man might be a talent, mightn't he? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Of course, remember Michael Schumacher made his debut back in Belgium way back in '91. So Beerus are doing the same here tonight in ALR, of course, making his debut here today. In the Renault as well. His teammate Murphy at the moment, he's on an ALR at the moment. We've only had 7 cars that have completed a time so far, so and we've only got 4 minutes to go. These guys have really got to get motoring now, haven't they? It just shows how confident they are, doesn't it, of getting that 1 lap nailed then. So at the moment that we have got in the bottom 5, Favre, Granty, Laggy, Fireshot and Matt. Of course, Young Lights is out qualifying, and so is Laggy as well. Laggy is going to start only the highest place of Laggy is going to start as 13th today, so that's a shame for him on his home race. But of course, then the race is very much where you win and lose, where you win and lose it. Coming up to the I can't believe how late he was breaking into the bus stop chicane there, Beerus. That's incredible. Car 2 accelerating out of the bus stop chicane now. Let's see what he's doing again. Great Earth management. He is thrown himself right in the mix there. He is 100th of a second away from Jonathan Cox's time at the moment on the soft tires. Beerus there is really showing some impressive pace out there at the moment in the Renault. He is in the Renault. Yeah, so well done to Beerus. Oh my goodness me, that's incredible, isn't it? Just watching Fireflies on that. We've also got Matt, who's about to start us up now in the Red Bull then. And he hasn't set a time yet. He's got 3 minutes then to get this to get a time on the board. Let's see what I can do. We're on board then with Matt then as he's coming out into last source there, breaking out then just down to 40 miles an hour then is net before stamping on that accelerator, and we coming over the support grid hatchings then and up into Eau Rouge and Radion then. It's so steep, isn't it? That really is. Of course, remember back in, I think it was in qualifying in '99, wasn't it? Where we had 2 almighty shunts there. Jacques Villeneuve and Zonta was, I think, was having a bit of a wager going on, wasn't they? About who can go through there like flat out. It was incredible, wasn't it? Of course, Villeneuve had a big old smash there in '98 as well when he was driving for the Williams team. So yeah, Villeneuve has had a bit of a has had a bit of a love-hate relationship up at the top of Radio now. Yellow flags are just floating around the circuit. It's the Ferrari, I think, of I'm not sure which Ferrari is, but they're just not going they're not going very quick there on the run up to Blanchimont then, because they're all just trying to get themselves gaps now. Of course, and all the drivers do have that track map as well, don't they? So they can see where each other is. And of course, this also helps when you're just trying to find a space to get a decent lap in there. So Murphy is on a lap at the moment, and in the Renault we've also got Favre, we've got Matt as well on a lap as well, and we've got Kingzone, Beerus and Jonathan are all out there as well. The track is getting busy now. You need to be out of the pits. If you're not out of the pits now, everyone is out of the pits then, so there is no one that is, well actually Beerus and Emerson will come back in and I think they're safe. Who else is going to be safe? I think Echo will be a bit nervous on that 45 there. Same with Stringy as well. Steve there is on an out lap at the moment. He's so is Nigel not feeling safe on the 44.9 either. Of course, the track evolution around here can be pretty big. Here comes Matt coming out to the line. He goes 6 fast as Matt does in the Red Bull on his return to ALR, and that's a good time there. Steve's about to start us up now. Farfair is Stringer there doing a good job there on the coming up out of Lake Om. Farf is on another one. What about but Farf is out there. Here comes Murphy. He's coming to the line now as well. Let's see what Murphy can do. He throws himself up to 3rd position then. So that's a very good time there from Murphy. And he is right in the mix as well. Good stuff from Dan Murphy there. Far shot on a lap. Grant, he's starting his lap as well. Oh, Farfair taking a lot of track there. And yeah, he's really put himself under pressure here. Steve is retired. He's up at the I think it's at Radion. It is at Radion, and there, that's a big smash. That's our 3rd victim there in that corner now, and that's not gone at all well, has it, for Steve? So Steve is in 10th at the moment, but he can't defend himself, unfortunately. So we might see Steve bow out of Q2. Unfortunately, Grant, he's gone purple at the top of the hill. He cannot invalidate this time the champion, otherwise he'll be out qualifying as well. Echo is just coming out Paul Frere and accelerating away. Oh my goodness me! I think we had a big smash there, didn't we? One Jr. So it's Jonathan's gone fast on a 43.7 there. Incredible stuff. 43.4, I should say. It's in the second number there when I should have, yeah. I don't know what I was reading now. Anyway, Echo coming up to the bus stop chicane, and here he goes. He's going left. Now, and there's the finish line. It's coming up almost imminently. And let's see what he can do. And he goes 11 fastest there. So that's unfortunate for Echo. He is out of qualifying. Echo, Lights and Laggy are the first two men that are not in qualifying. Farf is doing a decent job there in 9th position. Here comes Granty. And where's Farshot? Farshot is there as well. We've got Ferrari very slow at the top of the hill. I don't think it's Farf. I think it's Stringy. And look at this, Farshot has really run out of Urs quite early on, so he's really throttling that Urs deployment there, isn't he? Comes out the follow turn. What is he going to do? He goes into 11th fastest. Farshot, it's out of qualifying. And remember, Farshot's been on pole position in Russia last season. It's not going to all well for Farshot this season. Farf is still... Oh, he's in front of his time, Farf has. As we sin, I think it's Granty who's moved himself up to 7th position. Farf is on the cusp. I think they would just about survive because we have lost Steve, Farshot, Echo, Lights and Laggy are all out of Q2 then. So, going into Q3, it's going to be one of these 10 men going for pole position. Is it going to be Jonathan? What about Beerus on his debut? What about Dan Murphy there? He's got 3 pole positions to his name in his career in the Renault. We got Emerson. He's had 2 pole positions in his career. What about Kingzone making his debut here tonight in the... and making his debut in gold tonight. Of course, he is a silver driver, isn't he, on Monday nights? But tonight he's doing a good job there. He's thrown himself into Q3 on his debut. Fantastic stuff. Stringy in 7th position at the moment there in the Ferrari. 8th position, Granty. Matt in 9th position, and Farf, just by a whisker, is in Q3 then. So those are our top 10 runners, and those guys are going to be going for pole position. Farshot has just said, I can't drive Belgium. The whole calendar ain't great for me. Well, of course, we have had a shuffle around this season, haven't we? Because we up until recently, we did have the official calendar, didn't we? We followed it in the same order as the real Formula 1. But we did have it. We decided to mix it up a bit. String goes 7 fastest in the end, then, and he is through anyway. So. I think he was just getting more track time ready for Q3 then. String is not on the pole position, has he, in ALR yet? So I wonder, is today going to be the day then for car 19? We'll find out we'll find out very soon then. Jonathan there is also just coming back into the pits as well. Oh yes, I forgot that tune there is saying Jono is on a Q3 ban there. So unfortunately, Jonathan cannot. Was what I was saying earlier about the history books. Unfortunately, Jonathan will not be able to match that. Magic 5 tonight, unfortunately. So as he's got a Q3 ban, so he'll be starting. Well, it depends on how lucky or unlucky you get. Really, he could potentially. He will be starting 10th position, or possibly higher, depending on what else happens out there. Because some people might visit the wall and all kinds of stuff. So that's the end of Q2. We're going to be in the Q3 then imminently, and we'll be getting ready to go qualifying then. I love a shot here from the Alfa Romeo guys. I've got to say, Alfa Romeo and the constructors, they got a very strong team on there. I said it earlier on, but it's an incredible team with Jonathan and Echo. Really good stuff there. Alfa Romeo, I think, finished 6th in the constructors last season, so they're going to be much higher up this season, aren't they? So these are the 5 that have unfortunately bowed out of qualifying. Laggy Racer in 15th, 14th for Lights, Echo in 13th, Fireshot in 12th. As he said, he struggles on this track, and Steve, who had an incredible race last time out in Belgium, in Monaco, is 11th then, and he didn't. Steve and Echo didn't actually go onto the soft tires to get a fastest time on the soft tires there, which is interesting, isn't it, really? Because I wonder if they could have got through if they stuck a set of soft tires on. But nonetheless, then, they are out of qualifying, and we are getting ready to go. We're getting ready for Q3 just in a second. Young Lights has just said, I have to have a qualifying to show my pace. Hopefully that will change come the next Grand Prix. Yeah, unfortunately, Young Lights there, who's got a 5-place grid penalty as well for some misdemeanors in Q1. Here we go then, we're going for Q3 then, and this is where it's going to get very tasty as well. Unfortunately, Jonathan, as I've been reminded by Toon, I got a qualifying ban. Well, he could potentially start 5th if all the guys behind him don't set a time. But yeah, so unfortunately for Jonathan, then he will not be taking part in this qualifying session. So that record-breaking 5th pole position was not going to be coming today. And here comes, I think it's Emerson coming out of the pits now. Emerson is only got two pole positions to his name. That's incredible, isn't it? He was on pole. Is Beres there basically throwing himself out in front of the Mercedes there. Beres wanted to be the first one to come out there, and we got a oh dear. So yeah, we got a bit of a queue, a frantic queue going on here, as they all want to come out of the pits, don't they? They want to get the cleanest track as possible. Cleanest track, cool. So if you come out later, you'll have the track will be at the optimal the optimal window, though, wouldn't it? If you come out last, but of course, track map's gone red there because he invalidated his time, but don't worry, because this is only an outlap mode, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. And we've got every car on track at the moment, apart from Nigel. Nigel's always keen, he's not really keen to mix it up, is he? And come out on track with the rest of the guys. He likes to do things slightly different, doesn't he? And it's a longer track, so you wouldn't think that these guys get in each other way, but they just want the same piece of track, don't they? So there's about 4 miles of it, but they all want the same piece of tarmac. Murphy then, we're just seeing Murphy then, who is in Q3. I gotta say, actually, I think this is the first time this season that Murphy has actually got through into Q3, which is an incredible stat, isn't it? So well done to Murphy. He's really on it tonight, isn't he, in the Renault? And fantastic stuff to see Murphy back in the thick of things. I think Granty is the first man then to, as I take a breath there, Granty is the first man on track there, isn't he? So he's going to be the first man to set a time then he's going to be the first man to raise the bar, isn't he, in this qualifying 3. And I've got to say, this qualifying format that we've had in Formula 1 now since 2006, that's been tweaked more or less, but the knockout format has been there since 2006. It's probably been the best qualifying format, hasn't it? I mean, the one-shot qualifying was good, I suppose. I mean, it was ultimate pressure, but it really, in terms of spectators, it was really just one car going around at once, really. It was good for Minardi's team point of view, because they do, for example, because they're getting a lot of coverage, doesn't they, when they're showing each car. Anyway, then here comes Grant then. So he starts up, coming out of last source. There's the Mercedes in the background as well, Emerson. Will it be Grant and Emerson there? Will it be fighting for the championship? Well, I would say at the moment, it definitely is. Them two are at the top of the table. But I remember after round 4 of last season, it was completely different to how it finished in the end. And so, yeah, so the championship could be it's anyone's game, isn't it? Still, after as this is only round 4 now, we've got another 17 odd races to go, and we were going all over the globe then before finishing off in Azerbaijan. And of course, if Azerbaijan is going to be the title showdown, what a track to do that. One of the most hardest tracks on the calendar, and I really won't be one of fans to that. I think that the Granty, Emerson, and whoever else is going to be involved in the championship hunt would like to get the championship wrapped up before Azerbaijan, which would be nice, wouldn't it? But obviously, from our point of view, we would love it to go down to the wire. And Granty now is in the second sector then. And he's just navigating his way through the chicane then. You can see, look, it's an incredible scene, isn't it, here in the Ardennes Forest, Spa. And you see, that was a bit of an upshift there. It kind of dulled the power for Granty, but never mind, he's carrying on. And Nigel out of the pits now as well. So Nigel is out of the pits then, and he has just started his lap then. So whilst Nigel's just about to start his lap, Granty's just about to finish it then. We got all 9 cars out there. This is what we want to see. We would love to see Jonathan up there as well to make a top 10 cheer, but of course his collision with Favre from Monaco deemed him a Q3 ban, didn't it? Now Granty there coming through the final chicane. Now DRS is available. It's open. Granty goes fastest at the moment. Of course he does. He is the first one out there. But what about Emerson? Emerson goes second fast moment to 2:10 a second back. We got a Renault. Murphy third. Favre in fourth position. I wonder if Murphy and Favre kind of got on each other's way there. Here comes Beres. We've also got Matt in front of us as well. Where does Matt go? Matt goes 5th fastest. Beres goes 2nd fastest in his debut. Well done, Beres. I gotta say, he's an incredible driver, isn't he? Where's Stringy? Stringy then in the 7th position at the moment then. Let's see what he can do. Remember, he's got a 5 place grid penalty wherever he qualifies. Stringy is coming up to the line. He goes 5th fastest, just in front of his teammate Far from us. An all Ferrari 3rd row. Lovely stuff indeed then. King's Open then. Also another debutant here tonight then. He coming out to the bus stop chicane, car 9-4. Taking a lot of curb there at the bus stop chicane. King's Open accelerates away then. Oh, getting a bit wobbly on the rear. And he goes into 8th fast at the moment. So he's the slowest of the cars that have set a time so far. Yellow flag in the around the Rouge part of the lap then. Whoa, Nigel's gone purple in the 2nd sector then. This could be pole position for Nigel then. He has got an awful long way to go there. This is how long this track is. It's so much harder there, isn't it, hit every part of your breaking point, isn't it? It's such a long lap, isn't it? Almost it's a minute and it's a minute and 3/4, isn't it? And it's now Nigel they break down into the bus stop chicane, and let's see what he can do then. Look at that, playing with the throttle there, accelerating away, DRS and A1. Nigel goes full fast then, so the final sector was not very good there for Nigel, and he is 0.3 of a second off the pace then. Round 1 of qualifying done. This is how they're lined up at the moment. I reckon everyone has still got another lap though to go, haven't they? Granty is on pole position then. This will be Granty's first pole position of the season. I don't think it's this would be his I think it's his this would be his only his second pole position of his career in ALR. So again, like Emerson, his qualifying record is not it's not spectacular, is it? But then again, if you're such a good racer, then it doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, but Granty could be going for his second pole position of his career this today, and at the moment he is the man on top of the pile as it stands. But we do have 5 minutes to go, don't we? And we've got 8 drivers that is really hungry for to get our pole position. So just watching Farfair, who's taking a leisurely drive back to the pits then. I wonder if he's run out of fuel, actually. Is he going to be able to get back? This is going to be interesting for Farfair. He's going 60 miles an hour, a very respectable 60 miles an hour coming from Blanchimont. And I'm hoping that Farfair can get back. Well, he's only got 5 minutes to go. As we said, this is a long road race course, isn't it? So yeah, Farfair's going to be very, very it's going to be under the cosh, so to speak. When Nigel probably wants to get out as well. Nigel's just about coming up to the it's just coming up behind Farfair now. So whilst the drivers are now just getting a new set of boots on, and they'll be going again. Boy, just had to wet my whistle. Oh, Farfair getting very close to the pit wall there. And that would have also hurt him in terms of time as well, because he would have had to go in the pits and change his front wing. In comes Nigel as well then, and yeah, in comes Nigel as well then. So these guys that are on the pits then, so they're just changing. They're going to change the set of boots, and they're going to go out for one more run. 4.5 minutes to go here in Belgium then, and we're just now sitting and waiting. We're waiting. We're going to see who's going to blink first, and that's the question. Grant is the first man out there and was the first man to cross the line, and he is in first as it stands at this moment in time. Beerus is second. I've got to say, that's so close, isn't it? A tenth of a second separates Granty and Beerus as we're just waiting for the car to come back out there now. So we've got a bit of a lull going on then. Kingstone is going the first man, so he's the first one to blink, and he comes on track now, and he's just dropping down into Eau Rouge then. And once we do have this bit of a lull in the proceedings, and of course, but Belgium has produced some incredible races, hasn't it, over the years? To be honest, you can list all the Belgium races, all your favourite races, and probably half of them probably from Belgium, won't they? I mean, there's been some incredible races. 98, of course, stands out for me. I think it's one of the best races ever, where it was Jordan's first ever win, and on and they got 1-2 as well with Damon Hill and Ralph Schumacher. Incredible race that was, of course. I think there was only 7 finishers in the end, wasn't it? We've had, I think we also had an incredible wet race again. I think it was tropical rain at the beginning of the '97 race, wasn't it? Blimey! And I think it was the first time in Formula 1 history that the race started beyond the safety car. I think that's a bit of trivia for you. I think that is anyway. So yeah, we also had that incredible race in '95, didn't we, between Schumacher and Hill, where Schumacher was on slicks, Hill was on wet, wasn't it? It was an ever-changing race, wasn't it, in '95? I got to say, that was one of the more classic races of that '95 season. A brilliant race between Hill and Schumacher. But of course, Schumacher started from 16th on the grid, didn't he, after that huge smash in qualifying? But he bounced back to win from 16th. That was an incredible drive, wasn't it, from Schumacher back in the back when he was in the Benetton days. I think that was his last season at Benetton as well before he joined the Ferrari, and that's where he became synonymous with the Ferrari team, wasn't it? Of course, and we mentioned about that horrific smashing with Irvine and Bertie, didn't we, back in 2001? And I also say the 2005 race was an incredible race as well. I think that it was wet again there, but I think that was the only wet race of 2005, wasn't it? And of course, I think Raikkonen won on that day, didn't he? As McLaren were really on the back foot, going into that race. It was all under pressure, wasn't it? Unfortunately, Montoya, I think, just tripped over a back marker, I think, and just went off, which otherwise McLaren's 1-2 might have helped from the constructors there. I think the constructors eventually went to Renault, didn't it? Anyway, now enough about the history You don't hear about that. Let's hear about King's Own lap, shall we? There's 2 DRS zones around here, like there is in most circuits. Of course, on the Keble Straight, which is where we are now, and also in the start-finish straight as well. I've got to say, it's very difficult to overtake in Last Source, isn't it? So it's not really a passive manoeuvre in Last Source. You need to have a lot of help from the driver in front of you as well. Emerson just getting out of the way in the Mercedes. Kingston dropping down now into the right-hander then. We just got Twang saying, let's go, Renault, looking promising. It really is, isn't it? BRS and Dan Murphy are right on it tonight, aren't they? I think that Renault have... Renault, the defending Constructors champions at this moment, didn't they? Of course, Granty and Brandon having an incredible 1-2 in Abu Dhabi, didn't they? Which kind of topped off an absolutely spectacular season for the Renault team. But of course, this season they haven't started off too well. The Renault team, have they? And I've got to say, there's a lot of strong lineups out there. Renault, another Toro Rosso, I cited as one strong lineup. The other lineup, I think, was definitely Renault. They have a very good, very consistent team, aren't they, with Twang and Murphy. Here comes Kingston coming through Blanchimont. Oh my goodness me! Wow, that was definitely that definitely made me jump. And it was one the Renaults are just going a bit slow. King's Zone then, we got less than half a minute to go in this qualifier session. Coming through the bus stop chicane, accelerating now. Where's Kingston going to be? He's 9th at the moment. He jumps up into 6th fastest then. Kingston does he have time? Does he have anything for one more run? Those tyres have enough life in them. Well, find out. Granty has just started his lap now. Matt is on. We just started his lap as well. Farf is coming up to finish his lap now. We've got 14 seconds. Of course, you can still finish your lap even when the timer ticks down. Farf is gone into 8th fastest then, and I think he's starting his lap now, actually, Farf is, because he's got a lot of errors there. Murphy's starting his lap as well. Nigel also starting his lap. This is going to be very interesting indeed, isn't it? I think, and Matt there kicking up a bit of the gravel there. I think he's the first man round. He is the first man round. Stringy has finished his lap. He is going to be 7th, Stringy is, so that's unfortunate. We got Toro also off the track there. It's Kingdom. He's off at Lakecombe. I think he's just trying to get out of the way, actually. So Kingdom there just getting away, doing a very gentlemanly thing there. So well done to Kingdom there, just getting away. Matt there coming out of Pouillon then as he's coming up. He's about to finish his 2nd sector now. Let's go on board with him as Farf is retired from the session. There's a big smash. There's a big smash there. And Kingzo and Farf have come together, and that's another 5 place grid penalty. We've got 3 of them. I think that's the max. That's the most we've ever had in ALR history. Oh, it's a Matt has spun around. And that's his time done. He's going to be 9th fastest today. And what a shame there from Matt then. Stringy's already completed his qualifying. Kingdom starting 6th at the moment. Then Murphy is invalidated his time, has he? I'm not sure if he has or not, because he's still going great guns, isn't he? Emerson, oh my goodness me, Beerus there is also Smith. Oh no, there's I think that's just well, that's just Kingdom there coming around. Granty, here he comes across the line, and all his rivals have fallen. Granty's on pole position, and for the Belgium Grand Prix as it stands at the moment. What about Emerson? Emerson is coming across the line. He goes 2nd fastest. This is goodness me, he said championship contenders at 1-2. Beerus unfortunately had a slide in Pouillon, and unfortunately is not going to improve his time. Murphy is 5th fastest at the moment. Then here comes Nigel then, navigating the bus stop chicane, accelerating away, getting very tail waggy. He comes onto the line. What does he do? He goes 2nd fast. He's knocked Everton down the 3rd. Nigel right in the thick of it once again. Then the season 1 champion. This is cracking stuff, isn't it? Our two champions in ALR, Granty and Nigel, starting on the front row. This is Granty's 2nd pole position of his career in ALR. Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. As Kingdom comes into the pits as well, and a Stringy there in 7th position, and Matt in 9th. As I have to say, and I love your F1 knowledge. To be honest, a lot of it might be fiction, because because I do remember some interesting events differently than others. Well, there's one interesting event I always remember, when Maldonado broke his car. Well, I think had a smash coming down to Pouillon, didn't he? And one of the best pictures you'll ever see is broken load test next to a portal loop. Really tickled me. Anyway, Granty is not going to be too concerned about that at the moment. All he is concerned about is being on pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. This man has won 2 races so far in the opening 3 races. He's been on the podium in all 3 races as well. This man, is he going to be able to be stopped? He is a record-breaking driver now. He is becoming an incredible. He's becoming a major success in ALR, and fantastic stuff. Yeah, so Jonathan saying, well done, Granty, mate. We've also got Glock saying, nice pole, Granty. Not bad for a few drinks. Granty seems to do well when, I think one of his best races ever. I think he was He was on the drink, wasn't he? Of course, we do not encourage drinking and driving, obviously. But yes, he was. I think it was Russia, where absolutely fantastic race. No, sorry, it was Monza. It was Monza. Had an incredible race, didn't he, Grant? He did. Anyway, enough about history. We're all about here and now. A pole position for Grant. His second pole position of his career. Nigel is alongside him on row 1. Emerson and Beerus 3rd and 4th. Murphy and Kingzone 5th and 6th. Stringy and Favre 7th and 8th. An all Ferrari 4th row. Red Bull of Matt in 9th position. And 10th position is Jonathan Cox then. 5 place grid penalty for Kingzone. So we've got three 5 place grid penalties here tonight, which is very that's very high, isn't it? And now then we're just getting ready for the race then. As Emerson has said, started 3rd last year and still won everything. So everything is up for grabs. Granty going at let's go, Emerson. And we've also got Glock saying wet race should be fun. Oh, it should. And look at that. That's not a sprinkling of water, is it? That's a lot of water. That's a lot of rain then. And my goodness me, the drivers are going to be earning their paychecks, even though we don't pay them. Yeah, they're going to be earning their paychecks today, aren't they? That is a lot of rain. Is this raining for the race? And that is going to be the question. Or is there going to be some variable conditions? Well, we're going to find out in the soon. Well, in the next 45 minutes. Well, probably longer than that now, won't it? Because there's so much rain now. There's 22 laps around here. Of course, this is one of the lowest lap counts of the season. So we've gone from one of the highest lap counts, which is Monaco, with I think it was on 39 laps then, and now here today we are on 22 then. But these guys, it's going to be very tough, isn't it? Look, they're all on wet weather tyres then, and this is the formation lap then for the Belgian Grand Prix then. As I quickly get me graphics sorted out, let's go through the grid, shall we? Got 20 cars around here. This is going to be incredible, isn't it? So on pole position for the 2nd time in his ALR career is Granty. That's incredible stuff for Granty. Nigel is alongside on row 1. Both our champions are starting side by side. This is getting juicy, isn't it? 3rd position is Emerson in the Mercedes. 4th position is Beerus making his debut, cracking debut there for the Renault driver. 5th position is Murphy. 6th position is Favre. 7th position is Matt in the Toro, also in the Red Bull. Jonathan is 8th, and we had a Q3 ban, but I think we'll be happy with 8th actually. Steve in 9th position. And Kingzone was in 10th position because of the 5 place grid penalty. Fireshot is in 11th position then. 12th position is Stringy, also having a 5 place grid penalty, and he's dropped down to 12th. Echo in 30th. I think that's the lowest he's ever started in an ALR race. So let's see what he can do from the middle of the pack there. Laggy in 40th position on his home race. Can he get some good points here? 15th position is Roscoe. 16th is Sam, who's not interested in the formation lap 1 iota. And Norris Toon fan, that is 16th and 17th on the grid. Gamer also making his driving in his home race today in the McLaren. He is in 18th position. Young Lights is in 19th position. And I think he also had a 5 place grid penalty as well. And Gunnar didn't set a time, did he, in qualifying? As I think him and Young Lights was the two that came together then. So that's going to be interesting off the start there, isn't it? As they're going to be side by side with each other then. Right then, so as the formation lap is almost coming to the end then, this is going to be cracking, it really is then. I can't remember the last race. I don't think we had a wet race in the Belgian Grand Prix last time. But yeah, it really is, sorry, that was my phone going off there. But it really is going to be an absolutely incredible race, this is, isn't it? Look at that, look at how wet it is out there. It's incredibly wet. It is absolutely drenched out there. There's a lot of puddles. There's going to be aquaplane, and it's going to be an immense race to say the least then. And now they're coming through, and they're going to we're going to get ready to go racing here in the Belgian Grand Prix then. 22 laps around here. There's a lot of water. There's going to be this weather's more keen to ducks, isn't it? And look at all that water coming off those tires there. There is a lot of water, isn't there? And now then we're going to get racing in just a few moments time. Then we're waiting for those 5 lights to come on, and when we go out we'll be racing. That is a lot of water here around here. This is going to be an incredible race, isn't it? So 4, 5, there's going to be a pause. There's a traditional ALR pause, isn't there? So the lights go out, but like normal, no one's at home, but we will be racing in just a few moments. Just wait for it, and it is go any minute now. Any minute now. Will we go? Let's go now. And here we go then. Grant getting a good start as well. But Murphy's already in past his teammate already. We've got a couple of drivers then have had some appalling starts. Nigel's gone on the outside of... Oh, contact! There's been contact, I think, with the Mercedes and the back of Granty as they come through. They come through then. And now Granty still leads the moment. I'm not sure if Emerson's got damage then as they're coming up to... Oh, Rouge. Oh, my goodness me. Farf is going side by side with him. Oh, Farf has spun it. He has spun it. He's all right. He's all right. He's kept it out of the wall brilliantly well there. As, oh my goodness me, they all fly by. Farfair just about keeping out the wall then. Look at this for the press going up to oh, severe collision. There's a severe collision then. And there's virtual safety car damage. There's damages there. Oh, there's a lot of damage on Gamer's cartoon is also dropping down as well. Oh my goodness me, and look, they've all got into each other. It's an absolute mess in the background there. And the Gooners got a 5-second penalty. There's a lot of penalties out there at the moment, and this is not... Oh, Gooner's in the wall. He's in the wall. He's smashed it. He's out. Gooner is out of the Belgian Grand Prix after one lap. Beerus is dropping down into 19th position on his debut. And Favre in 18th position at this moment in time then. So as they're dropping down then into... well, they are dropping down into Pouillon, but of course then at the moment now we're going again. We are going again. Jonathan is, I think he got by Matt, did he? He has got by Matt, and now they're back racing again then. So that was the virtual safety car, and we're back in. And then who is that drifting there? That's incredible. Look at the back on Echoes all over the back of the Ferrari, and Gunnar's left for session. Then Stringer is up into, he's gone wide there, and Steve is back in. Where's the Ferrari guard? The Ferrari is dropping down to 9th position then, and look at this, they're just tippy-toeing around here, around this Belgian Grand Prix then, as he's forcing himself out wide then. And oh, that's a car who's off Jonathan off the track, and then he comes back on, and my goodness me. And luckily then they all went through him there, because that would have been nasty. That would have been a nasty accident indeed, wouldn't it? As now Jonathan there is in 5th position. Favre is in 16th as he's trying to recover some of the ground that he lost earlier on. Favre and Jonathan are side by side. Yellow flag and free as Gamer is out of the race as well on his debut. My goodness me, the Toro Rosso came back on the track, and he's back off once again then, and he's in 15th position. Jonathan is 16th for years. He's now up to 15th position then, as we come through to complete an absolutely chaotic first lap here in Belgium. My goodness me. And a 10-second penalty there for Gamers left for session then, as we've got a lot of pit activity there. We've got Stringy, Kingzone, Toon Fan, Laggy and Beerus all in the pits, and they're changing the car, they're changing the front wings on these cars. We got Emerson is through. Oh, and Nigel there just corrected the car there, almost having a spin there. Murphy on an incredible race here at the moment there. He's done very well. Echo is through, and Matt's gone off the track there. He's okay though, he's just recovering, and that is left. Roscoe's up to 8th position. Fantastic stuff from the Scotsman there. He's up 8th position. Brilliant stuff from Roscoe. Matt in 9th position. 10th position is Sam. Sam has crept through as well up into 10th. Lovely stuff indeed. Young Lights is up 7 positions then, as they come up into Lacom now. As Gamer's asked what the hell then, so I'm not sure what happened there for Gamer then, but unfortunately it's not been too good, has it? Oh, and that's someone in the wall. That's Kingdom back in the wall once again then. Not good at all for him. Not good at all there for Kingdom, and he has dropped down again. And we got the Renault driver Beerus who's out of the race, and that's not good at all for Beerus. And we got a safety car now, and that's a big old smash there, isn't it, from the Renault driver. We lost 3 cars already in this race. Oh no, absolutely fantastic start to this, well, absolutely epic start to this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. It really is then. So we got a safety car in this race then, and we've lost Beerus, we have lost Gamer and Gooner all out of this race already. 17 cars are left then, out of the 20 that started. And now then, so we're all going to line up behind the safety car. It's going to be a crocodile now. And wow, what can you say? That's been an absolutely incredible start to this race. So Granty leads, 2nd is Emerson, Nigel 3rd, Murphy is in 4th position with Fireshot 5th. We got Steve in 6th, Echo is 7th, Roscoe is 8th, 9th position is Matt, and 10th position is Favre. 11th position is Sam, 12th is Lights, 13th is Jonathan, 14th is Stringy, Laggy, and 15th with Kingdome and Toon Fan, 16th and 17th in the Toro Rossos. Toro Rossos at the moment right at the back of the constructors at the moment, don't they? So they need some good points, don't they? Unfortunately, that's not happening at the moment. We've got 5-second penalty there for Roscoe for exceeding the track limits there, and that's not good, is it? So for Roscoe, then these penalties will add up then, so that's an art in and of itself, isn't it? Lights is in the pits then from the for the Red Bull team, so he's coming into the pits now. and we're just waiting. Where's his mechanics? There they are. They're coming out now, and I'm wondering, is this strategy or is this? It is. No, he's damaged the wing then, so he's just changed the wing then. Beerus has left the session, unfortunately, so his debut has not gone swimmingly, has it? Oh, I didn't even mean for that pun there. Of course, because there's a lot of water around at the moment, there isn't there? So Lights then is coming in and out the pits then, and he is dropping. He's just he is dropping down the order now, isn't he? Of course, the inside coming out of the pits there is basically it's a shortcut, isn't it? Really, so he will come out in front of Laggy in 15th then, with Kingzone back in the pits again. And we just seen him on the venture, and he's also changing the front wing as well. And there's a lot of action going on. And we're still on the 4 wet tires there, because look at that rain coming down there. That's it's a monsoon out there at the moment, isn't it? There's all kinds of this weather. The Ardennes Forest is going to throw a lot of elements of these drivers here tonight. Oh, they already have, haven't they? It's only been 3 laps. Incredible. So just on board with Grant at the moment. Then, of course, Burnt Lando driving the safety car. And of course, so I'm wondering, he might get a lot of laps in here tonight. That rain is really really hammering it down at the moment there, isn't it? Look at the spray coming off of the cars there. And Emerson is driving into that spray as well, so his visibility is not going to be as great as Granty, is it? That's also a disadvantage there, isn't it? So Granty will have the advantage around no spray, but unfortunately he will be coming up to the puddles first, won't he? So he could potentially have a problem with aquaplane as well. So yeah, this is going to be a very tense affair, isn't it? So as we're just waiting for the safety car to come in, then this is really calming the race down, which is what we needed, really, wasn't it? Safety car is brought after Beerus went into the barrier to Radion there, unfortunately, and it's really and is taking himself out there on his debut, unfortunately. Farf somehow kept out of the water, and he is in a 10th position at the moment there. So Farf was last, wasn't he, after the 4th corner, but he is back up in the 10th position then. That just shows how wet and wild this race is going to be. It really is then. So as we're just on board then with Grant then, and the safety car is just in front of us then. So when we're waiting for those lights to go out, when those lights go out, then that means we'll be back racing. But we've got at least one more lap behind the safety car, as Matt and Roscoe's really having a good old scrap there, isn't they? Farfed, and look at them all, they're all queuing up here. So I'm not sure what's going on here, as there's all sorts of shenanigans going on in the midfield here, and this is well, it's one at a time. Who's in the pits? So Matt is in the pits. So into the pits then comes Matt from, well, he was in 9th position, so he's coming in the pits then, the Red Bull driver. And let's see what he's going to do then. I wonder if he's coming, is he damaged the car? No, he hasn't. So he's coming in, he's putting on a new fresh set of, he's on the intermediate tyres, Matt is, so Matt is rolling the dice. He's gone on the intermediate tyres then. So of course the tread depth on the intermediate tyres, I think is shallower, and I think they can disperse about 25 litres of water. So yeah, the rain has eased off, hasn't it? It's not as wet as what it was out there, so Matt might have made a master stroke here of putting on the intermediate tyres there. I think it's going to have troubles in the first lap or two, I feel. So look at that, as he's drifting off already, coming up of, oh, lovely shot there, of just coming up over the top of Eau Rouge then. So you can see then there, look at how wet it is offline there. That is an incredible amount of water there, standing water there on the right hand side of the track there. So he just needs to keep it in the grooves then. So Matt at the moment is on the intermediate tyres, so he's the only man going the inter so far. That will pay dividends later on in this race. But the golden rule in any race really is to be on the right tyre at the right time. Is Matt on the right tyre at the right time? I feel it's going to be he's going to have a very difficult time. And we got a 5-second penalty there for Toon Fan. He's collided with Laggy here, so I've got to say the shooter's been very brutal today, hasn't he? And I'm not on about nosy heaver. It's the Codemasters stewards at the moment. They've handed out 5 plate grid penalties, 5-second penalties, and all sorts, haven't they, in this race so far? Incredible stuff. Then as just coming out of Puyol then, and just behind the safety car at the moment is Grant there. I think maybe just asking Burnt Lando to speed up there slightly. So then I'm hoping the safety car comes in this lap then, because this is we want to go back racing that way. Laggy and Young, there's all sorts of shenanigans going on in the back of the field, and I'm not sure if so I hope I've seen a Red Bull there, and I'm not sure if he went into anyone there, but yeah, they were they're having all kinds of fun in the back there. Safety cars in, that's what we want to see. We want to see that. Oh no, and they've come together. Laggy, oh dear, and that's Toon and Laggy have come together again there, and it's a severe collision there for Toon, and so Laggy there dropping down to 16th, but not good at all then. We're going to get back race now. Granty is becoming the safety car, so he controls the pace now as we come out of Blanchimont then. So when is he going to go then? Look, Emerson is all over the back, all over the gearboxes near the Williams then. We are about to get racing once again here in Belgium, and he's slowing the pack right down, and there's another, like he's got another penalty on the back. It's going all off there, isn't it? So is Farfin and Roscoe also getting very close as well. Granty there, when's he going to go? He's going to go, is he? He's, well, I think he is. He's going to go. No, he's gone now. Let's go then. We're back racing here in Belgium then. Granty, and look at that. He's done a very good job, hasn't he, Granty, of really pulling out a bit of a lead there. He's it looked like they've left Nigel at the back there, haven't they? So yeah, Nigel, and look, Roscoe is dropped down into 9th position, far from to 8th position then. We've also got Toon Fan dropping down as well. Now coming up into Eau Rouge and through Rally on then as they come over the crest of the hill then. And there is a lot lighter rain now, isn't it? As the rain has eased off as we're just watching them all come through. Oh my goodness me, Jonathan there. I thought he was gone then. Great car control there from the Italian driver then. Now Stringy's going to go alongside him, coming up the camel straight. No DRS, remember, because of the wet conditions. Stringy out the inside, passes as Jonathan going into Lake Com. Great stuff there. Stringy's gone wide there. Where is the Ferrari driver? There he is. He is on the outside, but he should have the inside. Sam there. Yeah. Oh, Sam is just about kept it going then. And Young Lights is now all over the back of the McLaren driver. And oh my goodness me, he's going into him. Oh gosh. And as they come downhill, Kington in 14th position. Laggy 15th. 16th is 16th is Toon, and Matt, who's on the intermediate tires, is 17th at the moment then. So we're keeping on Matt's progress because he's the only man on the inters as it stands at the moment then. So we're on lap 5 then, hitting this race, and as a 3-second penalty there for Roscoe. The rain has really eased off, hasn't it? I reckon we're going to be, I reckon that Matt is on the right tires, isn't he? And so this is going to be, so we're not too far away from the intermediate tires. Matt might have made an absolute master stroke here. We could see him move up the order quite considerably. Sorry, I've got a tickle in my throat. Oh, Nigel getting very squirmish there, and as they come out of Paul Ferrer. What's going on? There's yellow flags. That's Toon. Toon there is facing the wrong way. He's facing the wrong way, coming out, just going into Stavler. Oh no, Matt and Toon have come together. We got another safety car damage to the car of Red Bull, and Toon has also got no wing at all. Then so Matt and Toon Fan have come together somewhere. Got another safety car in this race then. And is anyone going to throw on a set of intermediate tires then? That's the question. Into the pits comes Nigel. Nigel is in the pits then. As I think Matt and Toon Fan are going to have to come in as well because they damaged the car. Steve's in the pits as well. I'm wondering what are they going to I wonder, wait for the tyres to come out of their blankets. What are they? I think that's green tyre. I think there was intermediate tyres there for the Mercedes team. It's intermediate tyres for the Racing Points as well then. So they're going green, everyone is here. Well, there's Steve coming in and out of the pits as well. We've also got we also had a Williams there coming into the pits then and go on to intermediate tyres then. So unfortunately, Rossi's got a 5-second penalty here. Unfortunately, Matt's Gamble's gone the intermediate tyres first. It's not going to help him now because he's had to come into the pits again there. So that is a shame there. That's a shame for Matt. You can see the Williams mechanics. Roscoe is in the pits a very long time now, isn't he? So intermediate tyres are for these guys. So the guys at the front then, for 1st to 9th, have not all come into the pits on the intermediate tyres. Everyone else has. This is going to get very interesting indeed. Then the Toro Rosso mechanics there are not really in any rush there at the moment, are they, to replace the front wing. Now they've replaced the front wing on Toon's car, and he should be back out then. So then, as the question is though, I think that rain looks a bit heavier now. Anyway, back under the safety car then. So we had a race on that before the safety car was called out again then. So with the guy Kington was still on the wet tires out there. So I'm wondering if Kington feels that it's not dry enough out there for the wet tires. Well, it's definitely not dry for the intermediate tires. So everyone is on the everyone from 1st to 9th is on the wet tires. So Granty, Emerson, Murphy, far shot up at the 4th, far on the far shot, incredible stuff. And then we got Echo in 5th position. Oh, Granty almost going to the back of the safety car there, and that really must have woke up the leader. And then we got Farf in 6th, Stringy 7th, 8th is Jonathan, and Sam in 9th position, all on the wet tires. As Kington was left possession there, so hopefully Kington will come back in a minute. But yeah, hopefully Kington will come back in a minute, but he's on the wet tires. I'm wondering if he wants to go into the intermediate tires possibly, or does he still think that it's not appropriate? Right then, so like lap 6 in out of 22. We've had a lot of laps beyond this safety car, haven't we? So I think we've had more laps on the safety car than race laps so far here in Belgium. It's been an incredible start to this race. It's been action-packed, hasn't it? We still have 17 cars remain in this race out of the 20 that started. And so here they are, safety car. Then it's Granty, Emerson, Murphy, Fireshot, Echo, Farf, Stringy, Jonathan, Sam, and Nigel is the first of the intermediate runners in 10th position in that racing point. He made a gap. He was in third position at the time, wasn't he? And now he's dropped down to 10th, but potentially it's on the intermediate tires. If it starts to dry up, then it will be in the Inter's favour, and in the intermediate runners' favour. Everyone else is on the wet tires. And I got to say again, oh my goodness me! So we got a queue as they're all coming into the pits then. So they are coming into the pits then and going on to the intermediate tires, I believe. Nigel's going to take the lead of this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. So we're on board with Sam then as he's coming into the pits then. All the wet runners are coming into the pits now then. So yeah, it is. Everyone is now on the intermediate tires then. And I got to say that I thought the rain was easing off there, but it's now getting, I think it's getting heavier again, isn't it? Kingdom also in the pits as well then, so yeah, everyone is now on the intermediate tires then. So Matt, who was the first man on intermediate tires, is now in 6th position. He would have been leading this race, I think, if he didn't have to come back in the pit lane. So that's a shame now. Jonathan in 16th position and Stree in 17th then. So everyone is on the intermediate tires now then. So this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? So the man who was leading this race is now in 7th position. Emerson's having a poor stop there because Murphy is now in front of Emerson as well. So Emerson's dropped down to 9th at the moment in this race then. Nigel leads the Belgian Grand Prix then. And, wow, fantastic stuff there for Nigel, didn't he? He thought the conditions were changing and he's thrown on a set of intermediate tyres. And that's brilliant stuff indeed. Sam has got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. So, that's a harsh penalty, isn't it, for Sam? We didn't see where he's corner cut, unless he completely cut the whole corner of Lake Con, which I hardly doubt he would have done. Yeah, I think that's a very harsh penalty to be given a 10-second penalty. Jonathan down in 15th position at the moment. Kingzo in the 16th position, and Stringy in 17th then. So we ain't even at half distance yet. This has been an absolutely incredible race, hasn't it? Just on board then with Nigel then, the race leader, the man who has had 6 race wins to his name of his ALR career. He is the benchmark at the moment. He's the most successful driver in ALR. Of course, and he has won in every season he's participated in. Apart from this one so far this season, we've only had 3 races in season 3. But in season 1 and 2, he has won in both those seasons, hasn't he? So we're just waiting for this. We're waiting for that magical. There it is. We're just waiting for the magical message. There is the magical message. We're going to be back racing again here in Belgium. So Nigel then is the pace setter. Steve is having the second. Fantastic stuff with Lights in third, Laggy 4th, 5th Roscoe, 6th Matt, Granty 7th, Murphy 8th, Emerson 9th, and Toon in 10th position. That's an incredible top 10 at the moment, isn't it? How they started is completely different. So then this is just waiting for Nigel to drop the hammer, isn't he, in that racing point then. And we're just coming up to the bus stop chicane now. As we will be racing again. Of course, Granty didn't really drop the hammer, did he, until after the bus stop chicane. And I think it's exactly what Nigel's doing as well, just bunching them all up. And now we'll be getting raced again. Roscoe and Matt seems to be tied to each other, don't they? As, even with all those strategy calls and things like that are away. Now we're going to be racing now. Look at them all. Severe collision. Sam is on a severe collision there with Fireshot, and that is not good at all. Fireshot then is we're coming down into last horse then, and let's see what's going on here. Laggy is still in 5th position. There's Matt in 6th position as they come out of last horse, and they are all fine, I think, apart from Fireshot and Sam who've had to come together. Now coming out to Radio on, Rouge said they flick over the hill, and oh my goodness me, and that's a Williams off. That's a Williams gone right around. Who is it? It's oh my goodness, Toon fan has had a big smash there, and that is almighty smash. Roscoe has gone around, dropped down to 15th position. Then Toon is out of this Belgian Grand Prix. That's an awful smash there, and well, no safety car. Granty and Murphy are going side by side to the coming up Lake Column now. Emerson is also in the battle as well. Farf is in front of Fireshot. Fireshot is down to 11th position then. And look at this, and this incredible stuff as they're coming down the hill then. I know that was I'm not sure who that was, but having a good old lunge there, wasn't he? Sam in 12th position, Jonathan 13th, Stringy 14th. And now through the corner of No Name. This has been incredible stuff. Emerson's all over the back of Murphy, and now they're coming down there. They're coming down to Puyol. So you got to have a look at that. That's a Williams. And Granty there's flown by Matt there, coming out Puyol. Brilliant move there from Granty, the championship leader there, as he is coming back through the field, and he's doing an incredible job. He's fighting all the way, isn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed. 1.7 seconds the gap between Nigel and Steve. Nigel's now starting to wander away slightly as Roscoe's got by Kingdom's Ghost car. We're down to 15 cars here in this Belgium Grand Prix. Jonathan has got by Salmon up into 12th position and going over the Rundle strips there, Grant Woodside, so that's not so yeah, he just lost a bit of purchase there. Matt is really holding up the Renault and the Mercedes then, as we've also got Stringy News past Sam as well. Matt then is going to be under almighty amount of pressure as they come through Blanchemont here and up into the bus stop chicane now. Where is he? He's on the inside. Wow, what a move there from Murphy there, going up the inside, and Nigel said the fast on the race said that's shown it's getting drier then. That's a side by side action. Granty and Laggy Racer going side by side, going over the grid hatches there. Granty is up into fourth position, and Laggy there is in fifth position. Murphy 6, Emerson 7. Matt is now under the cosh now from Echo. Echo is being, oh my goodness me, Matt not giving him any room to move there from Echo. Then we're coming up to Eau Rouge once again, and it's an incredible start, and 3-second penalty there for Murphy as we're on board, and Matt is, oh my goodness, Matt, so where is he? Oh, it's a big old smash. That's a Haas gone off as well. Oh my goodness me, Haas has gone off there, far shot, spinning around there, just trying to get himself back on the track, and that is a big smash there. Matt is out of the race here. He's ripped off the front corner of that as Sam there just going off the track there. He's got virtual safety car here then. Wow, what an incredible action there. Matt then sliding off. He is out of the race then, and that is our sixth. That's our sixth retirement in this epic Belgian Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff indeed then. So we've got virtual safety car then. So we're back racing again now actually. Yep, so that virtual safety car has come and gone, and we're back on it once again then. Nigel's now got almost a 1.8 second lead over Steve. Steve is 2 seconds in front of the lights, and Granty is now starting to really home in on lights, isn't he? Emerson is following Murphy, isn't he? Following Murphy back through the field. These guys got some genuine pace here tonight, haven't they? Murphy and Emerson, and they've also got the Alpha of Echo there, who's having a look as well. Is not too far away either. There he is in ninth position, and Jonathan now making his move back up to 10th position as well. Brilliant stuff in this Belgian Grand Prix. On board then with Emerson, the man who was runner-up. As Twang just said, Radon Rouge is yeah, it doesn't it's not very good there, is it? I think these guys have got to go through that corner another 10 another 11 or 12 times there, so it's going to be it's a very difficult corner, isn't it? Especially in the dry, in the wet, it's just too far. Lights is dropping down then as Granty has moved up. Oh, he's got a bit wide there. Lights, oh no! And I'm not sure if they come together or what, but look down at the Mercedes and a flag in there. As I don't think, whoa, that's an Alfa Romeo there in the back and getting squirmy. Now it's Granty there is having a look on the sorry, it's Laggy's on. Look, there's a Renault in the background as well. Laggy goes wide. Murphy might go up and under. We've also got Fireshot and a Sam there battling away as well. Look up, they're 2 by 2. It's a come down to Rouge, back on board with Laggy Racer in his home race. He's fifth at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job as they go back up to Rouge, get another Mercedes. Emerson is also alongside. They're coming up the Camel Straight then. Look at them, they're all, oh no! Murphy and Emerson have come together again, and Murphy there is off into the wall of the Camel Straight, and that is not good at all. Murphy is out of this race. What a shame there for Murphy. He was having a cracking race, and unfortunately got a bit too tight there, didn't it? And I think it was Emerson. It was definitely Mercedes that come together and yellow flagging 1 and 2, and that's because of Murphy's car being pulled off the track there. Oh dear, that's not good at all for Murphy. His season still, he was having a cracking race up to that point. He thought his season was getting back on it, and that is a major shame there. And a Twang, of course, the teammate of Murphy there is just commented there, you're joking. Yeah, what a shame there from down there. I'm not sure if it was Emerson or Laggy there, but yeah, it was getting a bit too tight there, wasn't it, in the mid pack there? And now Twine saying that's the constructor's gone. Well, this is only round 4. Anything can still go, but both Renaults are once again out of the race then. And look in the background there, that is a Laggy Racer who's fending off Echo. Echo's done a cracking job, hasn't he, to get himself back up to where he is at the moment. And Steve's doing a cracking job as well in the second position. Really good stuff. 2 strong races for Steve at the moment. We've got a bit of sunshine bursting through the clouds, and Echo is going to go on the outside and Blanchemont, is he? No way! Yes way! That's incredible stuff. Oh, Ferrari there is flying off the road then. Laggy Racer has still got the position as it stands at the moment, but he's going to have a lunge. Farfar is up the inside. Granty and Emerson are also side by side as well. Where are they? There they are. As this is incredible racing there, and I don't know where to look. Farfar is now up in the 7th position. Laggy has dropped down to 8th position, and Echo is in 6th. Wow, and oh my goodness me, look in the background there as well, and that's a Laggy Racer Steven in the inside there, and he is up in the 7th position, but Farfar and Echo also sometimes as well. Look there, look, Laggy's on the inside as they come up the hill, then back on board with Farfar. Lovely shot here as they come up to Eau Rouge and then rally on then, and a 3-second penalty there for the guys there as they come, as they're just cutting the corner a bit too much for the game's liking. Laggy, as Murphy's left the session, and unfortunately Granty is up into 3rd position now. Lights is now under a lot of pressure for Emerson. Steven down the outside. Emerson is through and up into 4th position then. He is trying to follow Granty through there, isn't he? And yeah, so he's trying to follow Granty through Emerson, isn't he? He is following him through quite nice as well. And now they've got a 5-second deficit to Steve, who's done a cracking job in 2nd position. We're halfway through this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. It's been absolutely outstanding. That's it. Back on board with Laggy as well, who has been the thick of the action. Jonathan there just taking his time at the moment. I think in 9th position. And Jonathan there he is, and Stringy also in 10th position. Well, Sam 11 seconds back then. We've got Far Shot in a 12th position with Ross going 13th then. This is where the action is at the moment. Is this group of this gaggle of cards here, isn't it? Oh my goodness, that's very close, isn't it? As Echo and Lights are battling away as well. I think Lights is yellow flag in at 2. That's a Far Shot is out of the race, unfortunately. So Far Shot having a miserable season as well, isn't it? There's a lot of drivers having a miserable season. And look, Echo now is gaining on the Red Bull. Then you can see then the rain is still coming down out there at the moment, as the most keep seeing glimpses of sunshine through the clouds, which is brilliant, isn't it? Now then, as it come up to the bus stop screen, there's a Ferrari. I think he's fancy to go. Is he, Farfar? Oh, gave a tap there to the back of Echo then as they come over the grid hatchings then, and to start an another lap. And Ross got 3-second penalty then. You can see then Granty and Emerson now pulling away then in the it's a Young Lights has gone wide, then this is allowed Echo right in there. Stringy and Jonathan are also by the way. Stringy's in front of Jonathan, and Stringy's up in the 9th position. Fantastic stuff from the Ferrari driver. Back on board then Echo. We're going up to Eau Rouge and rally on now then. This has been a problem called fantastic. Wow, Echo steams through. Brilliant stuff then. Now we're on board then with Lights. Oh no, he's gone into the wall. I'm not sure up in there. We was on board with the rear of the Red Bull, and he's out of the race, and that's another retirement here. Virtual safety car. I'm not sure if I think Farf was trying to come through as well, and Farf's got a whole front wing then. So Lights is out of this race. Well, we're down to 12 cars in this race. Oh my goodness me, we're on lap 12 of this race, and it's been action-packed from start to finish. We've got a virtual safety car. We've had a couple of virtual safety cars. We've had a full safety car as well. 3-second penalty for Granted there for cutting a corner. So penalties could add up there, can't they? Unfortunately Lights is out of the race, so I'm not sure what happened there. But that's 2 collisions on the Kemmel Straight now in the last couple of laps then, so it's very difficult there, isn't it? But yeah, so that's a shame there for Lights and Murphy, who both retired at the same, but almost the same place really, didn't they? So Sam's got a 3-second penalty as well in 11th position. Sam is the moment. He just needs to keep going though, Sam, doesn't he? Pick up some more points then. As Tuna saying, this has been a crazy race. It really has. A bit of rain around Spa. It's a recipe for an absolute cracker. We're back racing again then here in Spa then. As you can see the gaps then, it might have been long to say we were like 3 seconds or that kind of stuff between Grant and Steve. That's because of the slower pace. And Emerson is through and past Granty, and Emerson is back up in the 3rd position then. Of course, the leader is Nigel at the moment. He is 4 seconds in front of Steve, who's 5 seconds in front of this battle here. So Granty dropped down position there. Now, we got a 5-second Granty's in the pits. The championship leader, the man who's won the first 2 races, in the pits, and something's gone on there with the championship leader then. He is in the pits then, as I wonder if he's damaged the car somewhere. Well, we're on board with Grant now, so he's going to be dropping all the way down the order there. Remember, he had a similar problem in Monaco as well. He's going on the slick tyres here, Grant is. Steve's gone. He is out of the race. His Farf's gone off as well. Steve is out of this race. What a shame. Granty has gone onto those medium compound tyres. Steve is out of this Belgian Grand Prix. He was having an absolutely cracking of a race, lagging up in the 5th position. Stringy is 6th. Stringy's going to go on the outside. Oh, they're doing a Rosberg and Hamilton here. Stringy's on the inside. He's got a 3-second penalty for that though, and he was a bit off the course, though, wasn't he? Sam is up to 9th position. Grant is on the medium tires, and we'll see how well that goes in a minute. Then, so Ferrari's are 4th and 5th now. I got to say then, is that a bit early? Well, let's take a look there for Grant. Because the track has really started to dry up, hasn't it? It's really dried up rapidly in the last lap or two, hasn't it? It was completely wet, wasn't it, earlier on as Kingdom is in 11th position. Then unfortunately we've only got 10 cars left then. Of course, Kings, if he gets points, Kingdom does. Score if he's finished in the top 10, he will not get any points, Kingdom, because of course you have to be in your car. So yeah, so that's the rule. And Dior's been able to grant he might have timed this to perfection. We're keeping on his time setting. He's only 3 seconds away from Sam. So yeah, this could be that might have been a potentially race winning call for Granty. As looks like he was struggling on the intermediate tires, wasn't he? As Emerson was just overtook him, didn't he? Emerson's 9 seconds away from Nigel. Nigel's got a nice buffer as it stands at the moment. So the question is, I think that they will all be coming in the pits, and Nigel's in the pit. Jonathan is past Leggy. Both Ferraris are very much side by side going into the bus stop chicane then, and Echo in 3rd position at the moment. So, oh no, and Stringy's gone off there. Stringy's gone off. I think it was a battle to see oh my goodness me, look at them all. They're all coming in the pits then. And there's medium tires for Nigel. Yeah, I think it was a battle with the Ferraris, because both Ferraris, there's only one pitted garage, so that means that Stringy's going to have to queue with that Mercedes. So it was not released very good there, was it? So yeah, now look, the Ferrari, look at how much time the Stringy's losing here. And he's into the pits now as well then. And they're getting up to work on the cars for that. It's a shame now for Stringy. He's going to lose a couple of positions because of this. And because that, unfortunately, Laggy is also going on the pitch. Well, I think Laggy is on the soft compound tyres there. Interesting stuff. Granty moving himself right back up in the 5th position. Toon Fan has joined, so he's back in this session then. He's yeah, I think he'll be enjoying this. So into the pits comes Williams of Roscoe as well. He's on the medium tyre. And should we go to the end then? Sam is I think serving a penalty here in the McLaren, isn't he? He's on medium tyres as well. So Sam in the points there for the second race in a row. Fantastic stuff. Wow, Favre is just breezed by Echo, and oh, Jonathan is out of the race. He is out of the race. It's at Eau Rouge. Jonathan will get a point there. Oh my goodness me, is Roscoe there, and then Jonathan there, big old smash there in the Alfa Romeo, then out, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate for Jonathan there. So he will get a point now, only because of course Sam's car is officially out as well. So Jonathan will get a point in this race, but I think he wanted a lot more than that, didn't he? Farfair at the moment there is in 3rd position. Farfair's had a cracking race, hasn't he? Remember last year had a great race, didn't he? Unfortunately lost it around here, didn't he? Farf did, which really cost him some major points there, and I think it also officially ended his championship campaign last season, didn't it? But today though, can he keep it going? Can he get himself to the end? That is the question, and we're going to find out soon then. So at the moment then, so Nigel at the moment is leading by 9.4 seconds from Emerson, who's second. Farfair's 3rd, Echo 4th. Granty's roll of the dice, so to speak, didn't really help him much, so did he? He was right behind Emerson. He is now, wow, he is actually he's about 7 seconds back now from Emerson, isn't he? So that roll of the dice really hasn't helped the championship leader at all. And he's going to have to go great guns now to get into the podium position there, as they're on lap 15 out of 21 in this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. And it has been action-packed all the way, hasn't it? Look at the retirements. Look at the list of retirements here. It has been absolutely incredible stuff. We have lost Gunnar, Gamer, Bearus, granted to the fast lap of the race, Toon Fan, Matt, Murphy, Fireshot, Lights, Steve, and of course Jonathan Kingsholm and Jonathan Coxon all out of the race. And Jonathan there, Jonathan having a bit of a disappointing end to his race. As Glock has just said, Grant had a 5-second penalty. Yes, he did, which is why he's so far back. We've got McLaren off of the track. It's Sam who's facing the wrong way at the moment. But as it stands at the moment, Sam is going to get some more points from the McLaren team, and every point it helps, doesn't it? So Sam there, unfortunately, on an adventure somewhere. He hasn't damaged the car though, luckily, so he's okay. Laggy has got the bit between his two. Oh, Stringer there taking a bit of a lot of curb back coming up to Lake Com. As they now this where the track descends and comes downhill then very steeply as well, doesn't it? After that incredible climb uphill over Eau Rouge and Radion then. Of course, Laggy on the on the soft compound tires. Everyone else has gone to the medium then. So I wonder how long these soft tires can they get them to the end on this strategy. But Laggy will be quicker because these soft tires are faster. They're more grippier. And Sam's got a 3-second penalty there in 9th position at the moment then. So yeah, Laggy does have the advantage in terms of around the tires. But the question is, will they degrade or can he get them to the end then? This is, well, he's done 1 lap on these tires then, so he needs to get them. He needs to get another like 6-7 laps in this race. And can he do it? That doesn't sound like a lot, but it's such a longer track around Belgium, isn't it? So as we said, it's a 4-mile track. This is so it's kind of it's not like an Austria where literally you're almost where basically you're almost at the finish line after a minute. Nigel's gone, has done a fast lap of the race at the moment. You get a bonus point for fast lap. Everyone that's in this race now will get that bonus point because Emerson's now got a fast lap of the race. Laggy is having a look at the inside. Oh! And Toon found himself for session as yeah, Laggy there that was a bit optimistic there from Laggy, but he's going to have another go. He has the tire, he has the grip, he has the tire performance, he has DRS, he's going to have a look, he's gone on to the left, now on to the right, he's up the inside. Where is he? And a yellow flag gets, we got Samu's out of the race, so Samu's retired from the session. Stringy and Laggy are battling away then, as battling away, it's like, oh no, my goodness me, they've just come together, big damage on the cars, big damage, and that is not good at all, and they just merged together. We've had a lot of cars like that. They've just seemed to they're just cutting across as well there, Laggy is there. I think that's a lot of frustration there for the Belgian driver, but almost did a Maldonado and Hamilton like there. But yeah, they just merged together. And once again, we've had that on the Kemmel Straight, I think twice, and now we've had it with Laggy and String as well. That's a shame that Roscoe should move up into 6th position. That would be Roscoe's best performance of his ALR career. Fantastic stuff from Roscoe. Really good stuff indeed. Emerson is now eating into the lead of Nigel there, isn't he? Grant, he is 3 seconds away from Echo as well. Echo's doing a cracking job once again. Really, Echo is really good. He's a cracking driver, isn't he, Echo? It's brilliant stuff. As Glock said, so many straight line incidents. Yeah, it's very unusual, isn't it? We've mentioned there's been 3 or 4 incidents. John Cook saying that was serious. That was appalling there from a Laggy there. As yeah, a bit of a swoop there, wasn't it? Unfortunately, hopefully it wasn't intentional, but it did look like it. On board with Roscoe at the moment, then, as he is actually gaining on. He's gaining on Stringy. Stringy was having a cracking race up until that point, wasn't he? And that's a shame for. That's a shame for Stringy. He really was having a brilliant race, wasn't he? And now Roscoe there is just going to go on the outside. Emerson set the fast race. So he's eaten into the lead of Nigel. It's down to 8.8 seconds there, isn't it? Nigel is, but Nigel there going for this will be his 7th race win of his ALR career. That's incredible, isn't it? From Nigel then. Brilliant stuff there from the Season 1 champion, and this is going to be a good race. It's going to be a good race, isn't it, from Nigel's point of view. He was the first man to intermediate tyres, and it really gave him the advantage, didn't it, under the safety car. Laggy in the pits then, and he's going on the soft tyres once again. No soft tyres should get him in. It should get him in the end to the end from there. But yeah, so Laggy will get some points in this race, so he'll be happy with that car 40 in the Mercedes. But yeah, I think there's a lot more points on the card there. So Stringy out as well in 8th position as well. They're both on the soft tyres and go to the end. There's Roscoe in a 6th position at the moment. As we said, then he's doing a great job there at Roscoe. That'll be his best result of ALR, I believe. For some reason, I'm thinking he's had a 5th position somewhere, but possibly. Anyway, we're on board then with Grant at the moment. Then the man who won 2 races in the first 2 races in the first 2 races of the season. Yeah, Monaco. He got a podium in Monaco, and now today he's on the back foot down in 5th position. As Grant at the moment, very similar to last season, wasn't it? Because remember, we had a 2 for 2. We had 2 winners we had Farf winning 2 for 2 in the first 2 races, and then unfortunately, then season dropped off. Is this going to be the same for Granty? Who knows? That's what we love about live sports, isn't it? We can never nothing gets won on paper, does it? But yeah, Granty there. Won the first 2 races, really started well off the blocks there. Monaco got a 2nd position, a great drive in Monaco actually, very good drive indeed. And now today, I think that the circumstances really was against Granty, wasn't it? And he has dropped himself down to 5th position, but he is catching Echo with just 4 1-ups to go. Yellow flag in 2, and that's Laggy who's just come a cropper again. Oh, he's damaged the car at Puyol, I think it is, and that's another lot of end plate damage there for the Mercedes driver. We're on board Stringy then, and Stringy is going to. Stringy there, who would should be able to get past him there as a Laggy there. Oh dear, I'm not sure what's going on here. Then there's a bit of seesawing around there, but with Laggy and Stringy here. Hopefully this doesn't get a bit too untoward here, because yeah, we don't want to see any of that. We don't see any of that, do we? As Laggy then is just limping along, and I think he'll be able to come back in the pits. That's a lot of damage on that Mercedes car, isn't it? So yeah, he's going to have all controls there with understeer and stringing there. I think he's just being very cautious here, isn't he? As going off the track there, and Laggy there just coming across there. As it's getting a bit personal there. Oh dear, and that's not good at all. There, and stringing there is now going to be stuck. He's reversing the car out. And yeah, the finish is getting a bit yeah, getting a bit interesting there, isn't it? So that's not good at all, is it? Laggy back in the pits, and he's going on to put on a new set of soft tires. Well, I'm glad he's got a lot of soft tires, doesn't he? Too, because that'd be his third set in the matter of 4 or 5 laps there for Laggy. So really, those tires not really been put for their pace as much as that. String coming back in again there, as unfortunately that just got a bit silly right there, really, didn't it? As Glock saying, yeah, not is very poor there. It really is. So String coming out of the pits there in 9th position. Then Laggy in 7th position at the start of the moment. There's Emerson in 2nd position at the moment. Then, of course, he won Monaco last week, and now this week he's on in 2nd position as well. We talk about Granty's incredible start to season. What about Emerson as well? Emerson has had a 5th position in Russia, then he's had a 2nd position, and then a win in Monaco. So yeah, I'd say Emerson has also been impressive in his own right this season, hasn't he? He's in 2nd position, and he's got the gap down to 7.5 seconds. There's not many laps to go though. There's only 3 laps to go in this incredible Belgian Grand Prix. This has been one of the best races in ALR, hasn't it? Belgium once again throws up some incredible racing, doesn't it? Fantastic stuff. And now we're on board then with Grandstand. You've got to be very careful up here. Echo's got a 3-second penalty. We've had a lot of drivers lose it out coming out of Radion there. Is he in DRS? He is in DRS. He has got DRS. Grant has now. So Echo is going to have a fight now to the end of this race. Then this is going to get very interesting. Can Emerson get himself out of the 4th position? 5 seconds in front of Echo is Farf. I think Farf might be slightly out of range for Granty and getting onto the podium there. But I think Farf a well-deserved podium. So he's done a cracking job. He's only 2.8 seconds behind Emerson. So Farf is showing some electric pace out there in that Ferrari, isn't he? Doing a really good job. The Ferrari driver is fantastic stuff. Back on board then with Grant. Then this is going to get very interesting, isn't it? So they fly through Pouillon there, and look at Echo there getting very squirmish there. Grant has got so much more confidence, and he's got on the outside. That's a fantastic maneuver. Echo is not getting. Oh no, they've come together. Grant has spun off, and they have come together. Echo is away. I don't think there's any damage there with Granty. Oh dear. So that was turned into a spectacular move. Unfortunately, had a very spectacular ending as well, didn't it, for there? So that's unfortunate for Echo for Grant there, isn't it? As Glock just said, spatial awareness. So yeah, there's been some interesting collisions here tonight, isn't there, in Belgium? Really, yeah. Anyway, but anyway, we'll move on from that. Nigel there is 6.8 to 6.9 seconds in front of Emerson in 2nd. Farf is in 3rd position. Farf, I think, has done a spectacular day drive today. The question is, who's going to be the driver of the day? That is look at Farf getting. I thought he was hugging the curb there, and I thought he was going to see in the accident. Roscoe is in the pits then for the Williams team. He's got a 50-second advantage over Laggy. So this is a free pit stop. That's a free pit stop. In a nutshell for Roscoe. So he's coming in the pits now. I wonder if he's going to try and go for faster lap than the Scotsman is. He's doing a great job today, isn't he? And he is coming into the pits and going on the soft tires. And so free pit stop as we said, and he is in and out. And yeah, he had nothing to lose or gain, did he? Roscoe didn't, because he was kind of in no man's land, wasn't he? So he's put on a new fresh set of boots then. And he is on his way then. Here's Nigel then. Going for his 7th race win of his career in ALR. It's been this man's been fantastic, hasn't he, since making his debut back in Canada, season 1. And he's really been impressive, hasn't he? Of course, Nigel had a bit of a miserable time in Monaco, didn't he? But he's bounced back incredibly well here today, hasn't he? He's done a fantastic job. He was the first man of the front runners on the intermediate tires. He's the second man on the intermediate tires. Matt went on the intermediate tires first, didn't he? And potentially Matt would have got some very good points today, didn't he? But of course, I think him and Toon Fan come together, didn't they? Stringy set the fast out of the race then. So we've got a battle for fastest up now, haven't we? So that's going to be incredible, isn't it? So I'm just taking a quick look then as Toon Fan says, "Oh, Rouge spun." And also we've got Hungry Monkey, #lapped. So as Nigel then is on course then to get 7 wins then in his ALR career. This has been brilliant, hasn't it, from Nigel? Brilliant stuff. And as he comes up to a rouge then, let's go on board with the race leader. As we mentioned in the story of the race then, it was Nigel who was the second man on the intermediate tyres. He rolled the dice, he came into the pits, and that is really how he's got his advantage, wasn't it? Whilst everyone else was battling away, he was just on the right tyres at the right time. But as we said, I think Matt was called it absolutely to perfection, but unfortunately he had a collision with Toom, didn't he? Which really didn't help his cause. Otherwise, he could have potentially been in this. And Granty's gone! My goodness me, the championship leader! Granty is out of the Belgium Grand Prix. It is up at the top of it's at the top of Radion. Granty, the championship leader, is out of this race. This is huge, isn't it? And that means, I think, as it stands, we are as Granty's left the session now. I think that's a lot. That's such a shame for the championship leader. Emerson is going to take the lead in the drivers' championship. Then he'll be in the lead. Brilliant stuff, and I think Nigel will be moving up into third as well. So Emerson takes the lead then takes the lead in the championship. Then we're down to 8 runners in this race. 8 runners in this Belgium Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff, then. So I think Granty will get 2 points here today. Grant, I think he can. He still will be getting points. Granty will, but he's lost a potential 10 points there, and that's a shame, now, isn't it? Granty there is just coming to saying well done Echo in their collision that they had just a lap or two ago. Laggy up into 6 now. So Nigel is on his final lap here in the Belgian Grand Prix. I've got to say, we've had all 4 seasons in this race. We've had heavy rain, torrential rain at the beginning. Then we had a bit of a sprinkling of rain. And now it's a beautiful sunny afternoon here in Spa in the Ardennes Forest. As Nigel there flies up into Radion there. Lovely shot there, isn't it? Stringing up into 7th now then. And Granty will actually get 4 points, won't he? Because I think Jonathan gets 10, 10th position, Sam gets 9th, and Granty gets 8th. King Zone's car is not there. So Laggy then is also just giving himself a 3-second penalty as well. But I don't think that should affect him too much. The gaps there are quite big up with the guys running. We've got 7 cars left in this race. Stringy has just been lapped. And I think he's just enjoying himself at the moment, isn't he, Stringy? He is on the soft compound tyre, and I'm not sure who holds the fast up. I think it was Stringy, wasn't it? So yeah, it was Stringy there, and that's looking very odd, isn't it? We got some lovely shots here of the Ferrari there. I've got to say, I'm not sure the Ferrari design is going to be happy about that, because that was a lot. That was very close and personal there, wasn't it? As Stringy was just unlapping himself then. So then Nigel then is just. I think I'll say Nigel's strategy calls have been absolutely to perfection today. The question about the driver of the day, though, who is going to be driver of the day? String's got a 3-second penalty there. Ooh, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? Let's just take a look at the position changes. Of course, up 10 positions, Roscoe. I think Roscoe might be in contention for driver of the day. He's had fantastic driving, hasn't he? Sam has left the session there. Also, I think Echo's did a cracking job as well, up 9 positions. 8 positions for Laggy today. He's had an adventurous race, hasn't he? Nigel and Emerson have won then. Anyway, into the final corner then. Nigel is going to win his 7th race win of ALR. He's won in every season that we've had so far. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff there from Nigel. Emerson finishes 2nd in the end and takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Brilliant stuff there from Emerson. Far finishing for him, and that's one of his better races we've seen from Far for a long time. Brilliant driving from Far today. Echo is finishing 4th. Once again, Echo showing he's got some really good pace, hasn't he? And again, another good result for Echo. Stringy's already finished his 7th position, so it's just Roscoe. And oh my goodness me, that was a heart-stopping moment for Roscoe coming out. Paul Frere there. I thought he was going to. I thought he was going into the wall then. Incredible stuff then. We've Jonathan Cox saying Echo from 13th to 4th for driver of the day, and also Toon saying driver of the day as well for Echo. Yeah, he's been really good, hasn't he, Echo has? And same with Ross, this man Roscoe as well, as he is. Oh dear, I think he completely is. So I think he's just enjoying himself there. Roscoe is doing a donut there, and also doing a bit of lawn mowing as well for the Belgian race circuit organisers. So now then, as Roscoe then is just coming up to the line then, and he will finish 5th, and then this is best result of ALR. Incredible 5th position there for Roscoe today. And then coming through, final man is Laggy, who finishes in 6th position on his home Grand Prix then. Wow. Well, that was a pretty intense race, wasn't it? We had drama after drama all the way through the race. The first half of the race, we had a very wet race, didn't we? And it was all kinds of stuff going on then in this race. As Glock has said, driver of the day definitely has to, Nigel, for me, no incidents caused or involved in, and the times of the tyre change was absolutely perfection. It really was, wasn't it? Nathan, you said, I like to drive with Emma because Emma is our mate, and when we drive with Emma, he'll never finish late. So we've also got Eka going saying that was fun as well. And I got a sore throat. I got a sore throat as well, so I'm struggling to speak now. That first half of the race was absolutely outstanding, wasn't it? Great to see Farf back on the podium as well. It really is. We haven't seen him on the podium for quite a while. Brilliant stuff there from Farfen. Let's go through the final classification, shall we? From the Belgian Grand Prix. Congratulations to Nigel there. I also got a. You also had no penalty either. Fantastic stuff. Nigel there won his 7th race of his career. Brilliant stuff. Emerson is second. He takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship in brilliant stuff. Far for great podium there in 3rd position. Well done. Echo in 4th position. The end of votes for driver of the day there. People are happy with that. Roscoe in 5th position. 6th position Laggy with Stringy in 7th position. Retirements was Kingdom, Granty, Sam, Jonathan, Steve, Lights, Fireshot, Murphy, Matt, Toon, Beerus, Gamer and Gooner all retired from this epic Belgian Grand Prix. Only 7 runners left. My goodness me. And we have we have 2 men in the commentary box at the moment of Emerson and Favre. And I'm hoping we have Nigel in there as well. Let's go to Emerson. I've forgotten your name now. No, we'll come to Nigel first. Nigel, an absolutely incredible drive today. You timed those pit stops absolutely to perfection. It was brilliantly well done there. Talk us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, very happy about the race. Good strategy. A lot of mess, I think. I heard your voice. Oh my god, the rouge and all the other things. At the back, 8-car finish. I think, that's a pretty tough race.
It really was, and it's your 7th race win now of your career in ALR. How does that rank in terms of your race wins? Was that one pretty special?
Nah, no. I'm happy about it, but it is not a thing of an achievement.
And as you said, I think it was the race strategy that won you that race today. How did you have a sixth sense about coming into the pits and going onto those intermediate tyres at that exact time, or was it a bit more pot luck?
Both. I think. It is very difficult in the game, of course, to manage to do the right strategy between. But I managed it well, just happy about it.
Brilliant stuff, well done, Nigel. Fantastic stuff. Your 7th race win of your career and the first one this season. Brilliant stuff, Nigel. Let's come to Emerson now, who finished 2nd today, but is now leading the Drivers' Championship. Emerson, how about
that? I don't know really how to feel about it because I didn't exactly have the cleanest race, but I'm leading the championship and I finished 2nd. But I mean, apologies to Dan. I mean, I don't know if you saw what happened, but there just wasn't a lot of room on the left-hand side of him, and my wheels kind of locked into his, and then obviously it was worse off. And I think it was Young Lights as well at the bus stop at chicane. I tried to do a dive bomb overtake on Grantney and him, and because it was wet at the time, I just slid into the side of him. But I did give the position back, so hopefully I didn't ruin his race as much as I did Dan's. But yeah, apologies to Dan. I don't think he's quite happy with me. But, yeah.
Yeah, we did see it on stream there. It was a bit of I think you described it exactly right. It's a very unusual one on the Kemmel straight there. But apart from that, though, overall, then 2nd position there wasn't too bad, really, was it in the end? Because it looks like you was a lap late to go onto the intermediate tyres when the safety car was out.
When the safety car was out, I was literally thinking, I was like, right, I'm going to go in for Inters, but then Granty didn't, and I didn't because Granty didn't. But really, I should have, because I should have just went with my gut instinct. But I was just thinking championship and Granty when I should have been thinking race. But I mean, 2nd's still not bad considering he hasn't scored any points, and now I'm leading the championship. So.
Brilliant stuff. Well done today, Emerson. Fantastic. And let's come to Farf, who's on the podium today, Farf. A very strong drive from yourself today. You seem to like it around here. You had a good race here last year before all came on the final couple of laps.
Try again, mate. I was daydreaming.
No worries. I'd say a cracking third position in the end today. You seem to like it around here.
Oh mate, I nearly ended on fucking the first. Oh shit! Nearly ended on the first corner. Me and Dad nearly got side by side up a ridge. I was like, nah, this is bad. This is bad.
I've got to say that looked quite juicy on the stream. I was loving that going when you guys are going side by side. Brilliant stuff. In terms of the strategy today, then how difficult was the conditions out there and just reading and what tires to go on?
It wasn't too bad actually. The wet, as you saw, I went from 20th to mid-table, so it wasn't too bad. I like the rain, you know me.
You do like challenging conditions, don't you? Where we're starting at the back all rain.
Yeah, I've got to say sorry to young lot though. I did thought there was a gap, but it weren't. But yeah, I ended the race unfortunately.
Oh dear. So a lot of seems like a lot of incidents to go through. Nosy will be very happy. Anyway, thank you guys today. It's been absolutely fantastic stuff. Congratulations to the free podium sitters, and also congratulations to everyone else who actually finished the race, because that was basically hell on earth, wasn't it, out there for most of it? Brilliant stuff today, guys. Thank you all for joining us. It's been absolutely outstanding stuff. We'll see you tomorrow night for silver to go as they'll be racing around Belgium at 7:30. And then next week, I think we are actually in we're at the home of British Motorsport. There is the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. See you tomorrow night for silver.